Welcome everyone to the VCT Game Changers APAC Open 3, day number 3. It's elimination day, and hang on a second, Key. We were taking a look at the screen before we even came to the caster screen. Some of the team logos, I don't know, dude. How did we get here? Alter Ego Celeste, lower bracket?
How did we even get here? Indeed, yesterday we saw something that we haven't seen before. It's Alter Ego Celeste dropping a series, and of course, that is something really new. That's something that we've never seen before. And X10 Crit were the first team to be able to do that, to slay the goddesses, to take them down a little bit. They're down, but not out.
Yeah, not out yet. They still have to go up against some other teams, and the first one will be Orangutan Esports. These girls, they wear their heart in their sleeves. We've been kind of following their journey since they flew to Singapore. I'm nervous today because this is people are going to be sent home. Not just Orangutan versus Alter Ego Celeste, because we also have Big Scythe versus SMG, for example. I really have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, so the teams, especially this Open, like you could see the level of competition going up. We saw that in Open 1 and 2 with TC Rice and Brent Victress who's now Brent Victress, rather, really going up the ranks. And of course, we're just going to take a look at the calendar of events first. So, Kendra, why don't you take us through this?
Yeah, of course, this is the entire roadmap of our VCT Game Changers APAC circuit. It's Open 3 right now. First Open, Alter Ego Celeste always winning, but they got pushed all the way to map 5 because of X10 Crit, who took them down yesterday. Open 2, we had Brent Victress now coming in, and they just show such incredible potential with the way that they play together. It's this incredible coordination and trust that they have in each other. But now coming into Open 3, upper bracket finals, it's going to be Brent Victress versus X10 Crit. I'm honestly not sure what to expect, but it's going to be a tough day. And the fact that this is now Open 3 just means that they're running out of chances. And if we take a look at the leaderboards in a second, it's going to be top 4 teams, and some of these teams stand a chance at losing their slot to qualify in towards Game Changers APAC Elite, which is the one that we have towards the end of the year, the big competition. Of course, just a little incentive for all the girls, all the players that are with us today. Prize pool breakdown, it's a total of $5,000 US. And then, of course, you go by 1,005, 1,002, so on and so forth.
Yeah, and Riot's been really great at supporting the circuit, and they've also announced their plans to really further the support for the Game Changer circuit, especially in 2023. So this is really exciting because last year it was just like the grassroots tournaments for the women's league, and then Riot comes in with Game Changers, and we start seeing teams form all around the world. And then we got Game Changers APAC, which is what we're having right now. And eventually, I just really want to see this support from Riot. And you love to see it because the level of competition is going up because of that. The prize pool is going up as well, giving a lot more incentive to the players to join and compete at the top level. And now we see the groups. We actually have a lot of teams that are joining. So this is exactly what we were talking about the incentives, right? There's a ton of teams that are joining VCT Game Changers APAC, and they're all very competitive teams.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm kind of just taking a second to think about this. 2 years ago when we just started out casting together, remember when we were in FSL's offices?
Yeah, it's a very big change.
Day. Yeah, this is before Game Changers APAC even came in, and now with all this support, thank you Riot, by the way, a lot of esports orgs are coming in as well. And again, just shout out to some of these teams because it's you only get top 8 that get the qualify in the playoffs, but there are so many of them that are coming in to try to compete for that top prize. And of course, you got to be the best, but it's just nice to see orgs coming in to support all of these players, all of these girls, and some of them even actually flying them down to Singapore, Orangutan Esports. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's actually really exciting, and it's a lot of investment from these organizations as well, right? So one of the biggest problems with some of the teams, especially for players playing from India or from Australia or from Pakistan, ping. That's the biggest difference here. It's an APAC series, so of course, so most games are played in Singapore server, with some exceptions, such as maybe both teams, maybe from the Philippines, they might play in the Hong Kong server. But as a general rule of thumb, most games are played in the Singapore server, and we saw players with 3-digit pings sometimes, but they're able to still slay and
Yeah.
perform on the big stage. So that's really the most impressive part about this. But the investment from the organization, from Orangutan, really flying the players in to ensure they have the best environment to play in this tournament is absolutely amazing to see. So now we're looking at the leaderboards that you mentioned. Right now, the top four are still in the running, although Alter Ego Celeste and Team SMG are in the lower bracket. Bren Esports Victress and X10 Crit are fighting for that grand final spot on the upper bracket later today. Upper bracket finals, rather. Zol Meraki is not here anymore, so unfortunately for them, they won't be able to gain any more points, and the top four teams might just be able to run away with a bit of a bigger lead as they gain more points in this tournament.
Yeah, but then again, it's kind of that test for consistency. I've been talking a little bit about this with Tash on the substream. SMG, we love them, but we hardly ever see them break that top 2 spot, usually 3rd or 4th. It's kind of unfortunate, and now they're going to be tested up because they're going against Big Scythe, and one of those players used to be an ex Alter Ego Celeste girl, so that's going to be pretty tough as well. But first things first, match 09. That's what we have today. Alter Ego Celeste surprisingly getting dropped down to the lower bracket by X10 Crit Female, and now they will be playing against Orangutan Esports. I mean, it's not even just the fact that they got dropped down. They got dropped down with a 2-0. Marquis.
Yeah,
2-0. What happened?
It was a clean 2-0. X10F are just so good. And here are today's games. Like you mentioned, first will be A Celeste versus Orangutan. Second series will be X10F versus Bren Victress. That will be the upper bracket finals. And then, of course, the last game will be, depending on who wins on the side of Team SMG versus Big Side as well. So they will have a game against the winner of Alter Ego Celeste versus Orangutan.
I really am not sure who to root for or anything, because we love all of them. We love all of them. Orangutan versus Alter Ego Celeste. I'm thinking about it, but it's weird to even imagine a scenario in which Alter Ego Celeste, for example, gets eliminated from VCT Game Changers APAC. I mean, This is a team that has gone through clean sweeps. No maps dropped last year. Every single one. They won, no doubt. This time around, some minor chinks in the armor, perhaps. Tarathiel did leave because she had to focus on some other things in life. But now we're seeing them drop maps. Now we're seeing them drop into the lower bracket. Will they actually get dropped by Orangutan and get sent packing?
This will definitely be the litmus test for Orangutan. They've invested a lot in their players. It's a mixed team of Indian players, Philippine players, and of course we're gonna take a look at them. It's Casper, Japips, Kachao, Mythica, and Sway. This is, some people have called this the FaZe clan of Game Changers APAC, because they're kind of like a mix of players, the best players from various teams, and you can see that. But this series will definitely be the litmus test for them, because they've gotten dropped by Team SMG in a very close best of 3. Third game went to overtime with a clutch to just really send Orangutan to the lower bracket. But they did win their series, the first series in the lower bracket. Now they face Alter Ego Celeste. We can see how well they do there, but they need their points, because they just started in this tournament. Like they're just gaining certain points. This newest roster, this newest iteration still needs some time to get together. Unlike Alter Ego Celeste, Ayumi, Iceberg, Ineri, Nabsky, and Oreophilia, these players, the core of Ayumi, Iceberg, and Ineri have been playing together non-stop since 2 years ago. Right, the changes here, Oreophilia was a sub. She come in for Margot, and Nabsky comes in place of Tarathiel. So that's the biggest difference for Alter Ego Celeste. Their core has been playing together, and that's why they've been dominant for so long. But we've seen them bleed. We saw them bleed yesterday. Let's see what Orangutan can do to prove themselves against Alter Ego Celeste.
Nice touch, man. I like the way you went with that. Unlike Alter Ego Celeste, that's awesome. But that's the truth of it. I mean, this is a team that has been together. I mean, even before the game came out, even before Valorant actually became a thing. Meanwhile, Orangutan, they're still fairly new-ish. I mean, they did play in a previous Open, but also they're still yeah, I guess kind of going through the whole scene, like learning the ropes, as it were. And sometimes you see a little bit of mistakes here and there, but that's okay because when you really take a look at them, you follow their story. They are a really emotional team. I mean, every single one of them support each other on Twitter. They're talking about how they have their coach who really helps them with everything. I mean, emotional support and insane aim routine, not skincare routine, aim routine, and
Why not
also
both?
things like, yeah, just helping things like ADHD. I don't know how you do that, but that's pretty freaking amazing. Alter Ego Celeste, on the other hand, they have that experience. They've been playing together for such a long time, but now I think this is one of those things. You talked about Nevsky coming in. She doesn't really fill in Parathiel's shoes. I don't know if they're kind of losing out because they're running sort of without their original IGL.
Yeah, I mean, not to discount the current IGL for Alter Ego Celeste, and Namsky, of course, is kind of like a different player in terms of the fact that she's more like a lockdown anchor. Like, we've seen her lockdown sites nonstop. She gets the frags. But Tarathiel brought
Yesterday,
a little
yeah.
bit of something else on the table where AE Celeste looked like a super well-oiled machine. The efficiency, their teamwork.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay. The map picks, we talked about this just now. What would be the map picks for Alter Ego Celeste vs Orangutan? So banning bind was pretty much straightforward, but Alter Ego Celeste have elected to choose Fracture as the first map. So this is something new. Like, Fracture typically is kind of like the leftover map for some picks, but
Mhm.
it seems like Alter Ego Celeste have game plan for this, and they've picked a map that I don't think any other team has picked. But that's something that Alter Ego Celeste is known for as well, right? Whenever new maps come in, they're the first ones to learn it. They're the first ones to be strong in it. And I think that being able to pull Fracture out here as kind of like your dominant pick is definitely a sign of confidence for Alter Ego Celeste.
You are absolutely right. This is a team that they like to stay ahead of the curve. In all our interviews with Tarathiel last year, and perhaps this is a lingering effect that she's had on the team, is that you have to stay ahead of the curve. And
Yeah.
it's evident because they did pick this map against X10 Crit yesterday as well. I mean, maybe a bit of the Masters effect too, because they had been running that neon. Thanks, Victor, from of course Optic Gaming. But it's something that I think there are some nuances to it because every team plays differently. You might run the same comps, but you're not the same players. And watching how Alter Ego Celeste is starting to play, they're extremely aggressive. I mean,
Yep.
yeah, you're incredibly sharp, but you might want to start respecting some of your opponents because just rushing nonstop. Sometimes you walk straight into their crosshairs. They get to hold angles really effectively, and that's where you get shut down.
I think there's a little bit of changes as well with the new patch because Jet's value has gone down by a little bit. That kind of like opens things up for other duelists to come into the game, of course. I mean, some duelists, not all, of course, not Phoenix. No Phoenix, but Neon buffed a little bit, especially you can cross through the wall right now, and it acts as a smoke, a way better smoke than Jet's smoke, I would even say. So I think that Neon, especially on maps like Fracture and Split, really have a place. And I'm really happy that AE Celeste are the trailblazers yet again for choosing new agents. They were the first ones to use Astra. They were the first ones to use KO when it first came out. And now also Sky as well on Breeze. I think Alter Ego Celeste was the first team to really employ that Sky. And now the Neon pick as well. So I think that's the really most interesting part. Chamber, not included because everyone is picking up Chamber. He's just too good.
He really is. I mean, wait, hold up. First of all, why you gotta do my man Phoenix like that? Man's not hot, all right? I'm okay. Well, it's true. He is kind of lackluster now, but still a solid pick if you're playing ranked or unrated or something. Maybe not in like an actual competition, but yeah, they are that trailblazer. They are that team to start trying new things, and it's a very lovely sight. And I think that's one of the reasons why Orangutan, they actually might have a little bit of trouble on this first map. If we take a look at our statistics thus far, my goodness, Key, they have never touched Fracture.
Yeah, it's
Their first
typically
ban.
a ban for them. And here's the thing, right? Well, we don't really know how well they'd perform in Fracture. Just because they haven't played it doesn't mean they won't perform well
True.
in it or anything.
True.
Typically, Fracture for most teams, it's a ban for the other team as well. And if the other team doesn't ban it, it just might come down to Orangutan banning Fracture because they favor the other map. So
Hmm.
just because we haven't seen it doesn't mean they never played at all. It's unlike some maps where they don't play it because it's their first ban all the time, such as Bind, for example. They want to ban Bind because they absolutely don't play Bind, and Alter Ego Celeste play a lot of Bind. So that's one of the biggest differences here, because this Fracture zero map pick is not doesn't mean that Orangutan can't play it. So we'll have to see, and this is definitely going to be their test
True.
against Alter Ego Celeste.
It's a big test. I hope you've studied, prepared some notes, because this is one exam that if you fail, I don't know, man, you're gonna have to call up your mom and dad or something, and hopefully they don't. But okay, that's my traumatic childhood memory. Moving on, the next map, of course, Ascent. I think that's something that is kind of interesting as well. I mean, I don't think it's a map that Alter Ego Celeste are not so familiar with. They definitely are familiar with it, but Orangutan picking such a map, I think we were kind of discussing that they might pick Haven. Any, I don't know, sort of insight to why they might have picked Ascent?
I think that actually, when you think about Alter Ego Celeste, you always imagine them winning because of how dominant they were. So, like how Fracture zero picks for Orangutan is not a statistic that you should be reading too much into, it's the same way for Alter Ego Celeste on Ascent, because they've just been so dominant that every single map that they play just looks like they're good at it. However, Ascent is one of their relatively weaker maps. And you could tell because the team composition that they've been running on Ascent was dominant when Inari was on Raze, Ayumi was on the Jet, the double duelist comp that has quite fallen out of favor already. So Ascent is a bit more of a defender-sided map, and now that the teams have elevated their play, I think that Ascent might look a bit shaky for Alter Ego Celeste, in fact.
You might be onto something. You might be. I think that's one of the reasons why. I mean, if it's slightly more defender-sided, and Orangutan, with the way that they've been playing, they've got their coach kind of giving them advice. They want to play that more conservative style, which is a huge contrast to how we've been seeing Alter Ego Celeste play in the past couple of days, because they're just rushing nonstop. I mean, Inari, she's incredibly sharp, but she's sprinting in. She's sliding with the high gear from Neon, and sometimes you might be able to create a lot of space. But when you get fragged out so quickly, especially in their game against Big Scythe, Yamori, she was just using the Judge. Sometimes you get shut down so quick, the rest of your team, you're kind of going around without a head. And at that point, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's the price of aggression, right? Like, if it doesn't work out, then you lose a lot. And then some teams know how to kind of reduce that risk, going for trades, or maybe having a little bit more utility, a better utility usage to really ensure that corners are cleared. I think Brent Victress is my prime example of a great utility usage on maps like Ascent and Split. They're my favorites right now in terms of utility usage. They've had that Molly comp that they debuted in the previous Open, and I think it's just absolutely amazing and nasty. So we'll have to see if Orangutan can actually do something about it, because I'm already seeing interesting picks here. Immediately, there's a Viper on the side of AE Celeste, the double duelist yet again, but this time it's going to be the Raze and the Neon instead of the Raze and the Jet that we're used to seeing them.
Kind of like it. Of course, Jet balances. We are playing on 4.08, but without the fade. But something that's interesting to me as well is that in the past couple days, Ayumi has been going for interesting picks. I mean, she is that sort of flex role, but I think she's chosen violence today, Marquis. She's gone for, initiators like Sova and sentinels like Cypher yesterday. Today she's going with the Raze. She's out for blood. And on the other side, the double controller. What do you think of that?
I like the double controller, especially. I think that a lot of people think that to do better on attack, you need two duelists or two initiators, but controllers actually make attacking easier as well. Like, I think that people have this notion that controllers are more of a defense sided kind of thing, but that's mostly sentinels. So sentinels are the strongest on defense. Proper controllers can work well both attack and defense, because controllers, I mean, if you read the description, they cut the sight. Whether you're attack or defense, they cut the sight, and basically creating small rooms, isolating fights to make it easier for your duelists to win these fights makes it easier. Controllers complement I would say Sentinels as well, because they enable Sentinels to take duels that they normally wouldn't be able to because of their kits. So that's the biggest difference here in the philosophies between the two teams. I am a bigger fan of double controller more so than a double duelist, but it requires a bit more coordination from the team because you need to know how to play the smokes. You need to have been able to practice this to know which rooms, which corners are dangerous when when the smokes are all down, because when the smokes are all down, that's when you have to kind of like, can someone come out from here? Can we clear this corner? It's coming
Hmm.
from this angle safe. There's new angles that are made, and controllers are responsible for that. So let's see if Orangutan can make use of those smokes to really bring this attacking side into their advantage.
Yeah, clearing out those corners are going to be exceptionally important. But of course, again, just like you mentioned, this plays into the team's philosophies. Alter Ego Celeste double duels a little bit more aggressive. Orangutan, on the other hand, double controllers. They've got Sway on Chamber. That's just what she's been doing. She's kind of that dedicated opper for the team. So it's a little bit more conservative, a little bit more controlled. And we will just have to see how that plays out. But what's a little bit more interesting to me is the fact that starting things off, despite this being Alter Ego Celeste's map pick, Orangutan has elected to start on the attack. What do you think of that?
Yeah, so that was the interesting part for me. It seems like they probably have a game plan because all teams typically they prefer playing defense first, and the reason for that is because on defense you can kind of get away with a little bit of defaults, just holding. Just it's all about rotations and communication, more so than executes, which is a little bit more complex. But the fact that they chose attack shows me a little bit of confidence coming from them. Of course,
Hmm.
Kachao on that raise, always a sight to behold. She's very good at this raise, and that'll be the biggest difference maker here because she'll be the one going in from the support from Pips, from the smokes from Mythica and Casper. She's gonna be the first one in with Sway coming in at the back as well as a second fragger, but Kachao will definitely be the entry, and we'll have to see how she can play along with her teammates to break down Alter Ego Celeste's defense.
Here we go. I mean, both Japips and Kachao, the Filipino representatives for Orangutan, and they are starting things off, just pushing right in towards A main, and Sway instantly peeking out with the Headhunter, trying to find opening picks. But take a look at how ACL are positioned. All the way to the top of drop, and they are not kind of peeking all that much at all because they've been smoked off. Aftershock comes in to deny the spike plant, and that kind of forces Sway out of the site, and that kind of messes up with the timing as well. Allows for a Yubi and a Neri to find some opening shots. It's a triple kill already, and now just trying to go back into it. Mythica will be able to find one, but that is all she wrote. Alter Ego Celeste. This is very different from what we saw yesterday.
That was an absolute rogue pull. So you mentioned their positioning. Their position of drop. They left site open, and they know that they have the utilities to stop a rush. And that's exactly what happened. Orangutan rushed into the site. Sway was able to get onto the site, even started the plant, but the usage of utility, Iceberg, with that aftershock, scares Sway away. She
Timing, man.
forced to teleport out and just disrupted the whole push from Orangutan. Because of that, Alter Ego Celeste was just able to clean house, and they only lost one member as well. So Alter Ego Celeste really showing on putting on the clinic here. Two headshots from Namsky. She takes one down, but Ayumi is gonna be there for the trade as well. There's gonna be the grenade coming out. They're gonna hold this arcade.
One enemy
Gonna find
remaining.
another
Oh,
one
perfect.
as well. Oh my god, Alter Ego Celeste are firing on all cylinders right now. They definitely don't want a repeat of yesterday.
It's a big, big start, and of course, Casper, the only one left, trying to go the long way around. They probably have no idea that she's here, but the best that she can hope for is a couple of kills, maybe pick up a weapon or two. But as soon as she makes a sound just like that, they are going to start hunting her down. Look at how Inari's trying to clear this. So aggressive. Doesn't want to give her any more room to work with. So minimal damage sustained. Only 2 players killed in that round.
I love her usage of Neon. Like you watched that last part, the dash in just to
Enemy
really be
remaining.
more aggressive and push out the last member of Orangutan, Casper, just trapped behind the boxes with just insane aggression from Inari here. That's just the confidence in the agent, just as her confidence in her aim as well. And I think we're gonna see a pretty fast series if this keeps up.
Yeah, I mean, Alter Ego Celeste, they really look prepared. Even in that first round, it's almost as if they just allowed for Orangutan to come in, knowing that they would start to get that spike planted. And Aftershock, that was just something that they were planning for. Coming into this as well, I mean, just denying that map control with the relay bolts. And Neri's going for some dangerous peaks. Her team is trying to do something along with her, but oh my gosh, Orangutan, they have no idea how to deal with this.
One thing that Neon also brings to the table that other duelists don't is a stun. And that just slowed Orangutan down so much. They got stunned by the Breach, stunned by the Neon twice, enabling them to get that kill onto Mythica. So this is the bonus round for LG Celeste, but they're doing such a good job at stalling the push. It looks like Orangutan just can't find an answer. It's 3v3 right now, but still, Orangutan have not had a single inch of control just yet.
Yeah, they really want to contest for this one spot until now. Finally deciding to back off. The rotations are quick, and I'm pretty sure that AECL has heard that, so Napsky is more than prepared for this. Question is, will she be able to land the shot as soon as they start streaming in? They don't even have a single flash anymore, so there's going to dry peek every single one of this, and Napsky will be able to take one hit off the entire roster now. Spike might get planted, but it all comes down to Japitz holding it down. She gets a quick double, and then of course Casper making the instant trade. Perfect, not the cleanest, but still something that saves them from that bonus round.
At least they won the round, but they lost so much in that round. 4 members gone. Casper was brought down to 1 armor, so that's effectively 4.5 members that they've taken down on Alter Ego Celeste. That Headhunter, they took so many kills from the Spectre as well. Just so much control from Alter Ego Celeste. This is the best that they could have hoped for without winning the round. So right now, we're going to see a bit of a difference in terms of the economy. For Orangutan, it's going to be light armors, but Ayumi actually bought the previous round, so she only has a judge to her name. But I wouldn't discount that. I would not discount shotguns from Alter Ego Celeste. They were the ones who used the Bucky when it was still strong. They were the ones using the judge quite a bit as well on certain maps, especially Split. It's worked out for them.
You love your shotguns. I mean, even look at how Yumi's positioned right now. Just hiding underneath the box. No way that they know she's in that spot. So this is terrifying. Here she comes, and she gets the double! Oh my god! This is so annoying! And she's still hiding behind it just by sheer presence alone. It is infuriating. Comes back in, jumps out, gets the triple. Sway's the only one left now. And this split push has been all but denied. Sway needs to find a multi-kill in order to make this work, but Inari shuts that down, and AECL takes up the third.
Yeah, you can't discount the shotgun. So the thing about a shotgun is typically they play a do or die position. So that's going to be on either side. And if you're unlucky enough to run into the shotgun while you're not ready for it, this happens. This absolutely happens. It's just like you get decimated. The first 2 died because they weren't ready for a shotgun. I think a rifle might have done the same thing, but they just weren't ready for that close range engagement. And then the third kill as well. She waited for the aftershock to almost prime, immediately jumps out to surprise Japips. Taking that judge down is absolutely crazy.
Oh my, it's disgusting. It's such an, it's something that, of course, on paper, it works. But just because of playing the game, most people go for rifles. They tend to play longer angles. It's something that is kind of uncommon. And I think they managed to catch Orangutan by surprise just like that. And at the same time, this is a little bit of fear now. Orangutan are playing a lot more slowly than previous rounds, and this might be something that hurts them. Because look at how they are peeking in towards Oreophilia. That's 2 players gone now. I don't know what the rest of them can do. Only upgraded pistols, and they're making a slow advance through Arcade.
I think that's the biggest difference there. It's the reset on the economy. And now, Orangutan, after winning that 1 round, barely winning that 1 round by a sliver of 1 player, AE Celeste have shown dominance yet again. And right now, they're just not giving chances for Orangutan. Look at this. Look at how they're playing. They're not taking aggressive duels. They're not losing members unnecessarily. They're playing together, and because of that, they're able to get kills. Even the kill with the aftershock and Oreophilia with a triple kill as well. Alter Ego Celeste are really putting on a clinic for us.
Without a doubt. I mean, this is write me a prescription. I want to learn from this clinic. This is this is near flawless. I mean, they only lost Napsky in that round, and everything is just so tactically thought out. Even with the way that they are just kind of holding an anchor down sights, not really exposing themselves too much, and peeking along with the pre-aimed positions, and aside from that, allowing for Orangutan to actually, again, let them go into side, try to get the spike planted, and then dump them with utility, dump them with bullets. Orangutan, I don't know what it is, but they really need to find a solution to this.
Yeah, I like how Iceberg even flicked to the boombot, but it was actually Ayumi's boombot, not Kachang. Flicked to it and shot it. That's how sharp and instinctive these players are. They're almost robotic in terms of their aim and their execution. Let's look at this double play on Arcade. Great play from Orangutan, getting one, but Namsky, this is the strength of the chamber. She's able to get one before teleporting away back to safety. And now Alter Ego Celeste can mount a retake here, but Orangutan are going to get the site for free. There's 4 players right now on the site. They're using the Cosmic Divide as well as the Viper's Bit to try and ensure this round win.
They will be able to ensure the spike plant for the time being, but I'm afraid of this retake that we are starting to see unravel right in front of our very eyes. Rolling Thunder start things off, and Inari is already able to take quick control over Arcade, and that means possibly control over Tower now. A two-pronged approach, and Orangutan, they have to look out for so many more angles. This Viper's Pit is going to help them out immensely, but they need to be able to nail these frags. Unfortunately, Mythica falls, and now the last one left alive, Casper, gets eliminated by Nabsky. Just completely dismantled, and Alter Ego Celeste secure yet another win.
So much committed from the side of Orangutan. I believe they also committed the Rolling Thunder, they committed the Viper's Pit, they committed the Cosmic Divide. 3 ultimates committed. And what did they have to show for it? Not much. They couldn't even kill too many members of Alter Ego Celeste. They only got 2 members, even with that heavy of an investment. I believe Sway even used her tour de force there, so that's 4 ultimates they used.
Yeah, oh my goodness. 4 ultimates, and you still lose around. That stings, but this is where you cannot let such situations affect your mental game. You have to keep it strong, but they still try to go in for the peaks. And Inari just shuts it down outright. Relay Bolt even being committed as well. There's no chance in hell that you're going to be able to get control over A main with that much presence from Alter Ego Celeste.
It's not just presence, but the way they've been playing, they've always been shuffling their positions. I mean, that's always been an Alter Ego Celeste signature. The adaptability, just really playing different corners and resetting your defense so that the attackers just don't know where you are ever. Well, I know where one player is, Inari. She's always peeking, 100%.
Always in a forward position, but that's the thing, right? It's so daunting. You're not quite sure which site, which area you can actually push into, and even if you do, the clearing has to be pristine. And Sway finding this first pick, Mythica getting the second. The patience is starting to pay off. They even get the stun onto her to Yumi, down to 4 HP, but she pulls out the showstopper. This could be a double kill, and it is! Oh my god! A Yumi!
That was absolute bravery there. 4 HP, pops the showstopper to scare them a little bit, decides, hey, I popped it anyway, I'm just gonna shoot it. And then she gets a double kill off of that. It started looking good for Orangutan, don't get me wrong, on this eco round no less. But Ayumi, look at this, gets stunned, gets tagged down to 4 HP, uses a showstopper, she just knows what to do.
It's like it popped it, might as well shoot it somehow. I kind of know where they are. And the only chance that for Orangutan to actually survive that one incident is to possibly push out of the doors, where they will be exposed towards ropes, which that's not what they want. Or the other scenario, possibly just back out of A main. But if they did that, Yumi would have saw her already. So it's kind of something that just works out perfectly for Alter Ego Celeste. This is disgusting, Marquis. 6-1 now, and OGT calling a timeout.
It's an absolute massacre, and this timeout is definitely needed. They have a bye round coming up. They need to win a few more rounds to come back into this game. I think a lot of people think that Fracture is attack-sided, because you can come from, 2 different sides. But
I don't know, man.
Statistics have shown that it's actually a little bit more defense-sided.
It's defenders get to push out so much. You've got the zip lines. You've got 4 sectors of the map that you can play around with, and that's exactly what Alter Ego Celeste are doing. If you are Orangutan Esports right now, you're not entirely sure how to clear. The one glimpse of hope that they've had so far is when they were patient and holding and just baiting out these peaks from Alter Ego Celeste. Once those are punished, once they get the numbers advantage, it helps them out so much. I'm not sure what the coach was discussing with them, but hopefully that's something that could help them out. Unfortunately, this time though, losing a controller way too early.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
It's gonna win fully, and Inari is gonna get the kill. So that's one of the things with a showstopper, right?
Distance.
Yes, it takes some time to actually fly in. Okay, Inari has been peeking. She already got 2, but finally gets taken down. Iceberg is still here, 100% healthy still. Still has her utilities as well, able to use that flash. The fault line is going to come back as well. She's just waiting for her teammates to come in. The enemy fault line comes in to stun her. But Alter Ego Celeste are about to execute back onto this retake. Orangutan, great job getting a spike down, but they are still outnumbered.
They've already dropped down, and they've already smoked off A main as well. It's going to be a little bit more annoying for Sway to have to shoot through this. They might just want to pre-fire it a little. Aftershock denies the area a lot more as well, and now they're starting to stick onto it. Aftershock does eliminate one person. Yumi has her operator up and ready as well. We know how sharp she can be. Paint shells just to push the pits further back, and there's no chance that she's going to be able to deny the spike defuse. It goes through, and unfortunately for Orangutan, they've lost yet another round.
Yeah, it was probably the best showing that they've had besides the round win, but it still wasn't enough. Just because of Inari pushing out here, she also has the support of Iceberg, so that's one thing that you have to be careful about on this map. Like you mentioned, defenders can push out, and Alter Ego Celeste have been pushing out on 4 random sectors with Inari and Iceberg supporting her. So that's the biggest thing here. Inari's not pushing out alone. It's not blind aggression. She has Iceberg there for the trade, but she doesn't even need to trade because she's winning every single duel that she's had so far. And it's just so good for Alter Ego Celeste because they've taken control over so much of the map. But Sway is gonna get the headshot onto Ayumi, buying an operator of her own on this attacking side. Ayumi not able to get that shot, and it's starting to look good for Orangutan as they flush into the site.
Huge pick for Sway back there, and this is such an important round for them as well, just to bring things back. They want to take the fight back towards Alter Ego Celeste, and they're not backing down. Site control already granted, and they are just holding down these positions. Unfortunately, though, peeking yet again. And Neri was already prepared for this, but here comes Mythica. Gets traded out once more. And Neri even has her overdrive, so she has that option. But now getting denied by Sway and Casper. They're holding it all from different angles, and Alter Ego Celeste has no idea what just hit them.
That was a bit too fast for Alter Ego Celeste. Once they got Ayumi off of their operator, which they didn't expect at all, they just rushed in. And after that, Alter Ego Celeste, I think they rushed it a bit. They tried to go for the retake a bit too fast this time around because I guess there's a little bit of the confidence as well. They've been extremely great with every single round. And okay, I just saw something on Alter Ego Celeste economy. They realized Namsky had the most money, even though she's going to use her tour de force, and basically the other players requested from her. So I like that because we've been seeing teams, you know, just more economy things. We've been seeing teams kind of like miss out on the economy, and missing out on the shot is Sway. That stun coming out distracted her a little bit, and Namsky is going to be able to get the kill onto her, and they're not going to be able to repeat what they wanted to do the previous round.
That's an old thing. I mean, fairly old now because it's been about a year since the operator was nerfed in such a way. The fault line forces you to scope out of your operator, and that's something that I think allowed Natsuki to get the shot. And not to mention, this tour de force is something that fires so much faster than a regular operator that she has so much presence just by sheer position alone. And that's something that's blocking off Orangutan. They want to get the spike down, but they are not entirely sure if they can actually start planting it. I mean, take a look at what Inari's even doing, just firing blank shots through the smoke. She's able to take out Japips. It's down to a 5v3 now, and it's starting to get dismantled. Iceberg, Ayumi, they're all pushing together. Mythica is alone. And just like that, yet again, they got choked out.
I'm gonna say one thing though. My current MVP for this map is not even a Yumi, it's not a Neri who's getting all those frags. It's Iceberg. Like all these opening picks, all these opening frags, it's because of her support for Neri, for Ayumi. Nabsky peeking out as well just now was actually accompanied by a fault line from Iceberg. stunning sway and really just making her aim sway because she's not aiming down with that after that fault line. And she might not be at the top of the scoreboard, and the assists, I don't think they count very
You
well.
want to
The amount of
play? Let's
things that she
play.
does for a team, the numbers just don't show that. And Iceberg is definitely keeping the team dominant in this map.
I couldn't agree more. The way that they're playing all these retakes, they know exactly when and where to shoot out pieces of utility, whether it's the flashpoint or the aftershock. It's something that blocks off so much for Orangutan that is so oppressing. And I think this is the right call for them right now, just to slow things down, because if they can find that numbers advantage, they will have an easier time in holding down sites, and that's exactly what they do. A little bit of a default, and they take out 2 players instantly. This just might be A site control.
Yeah, it's just completely open for them. They finally get punished. The duo Inari and Ayumi.
Oh,
No
Sway
stunts
as
this
well.
time from Iceberg. Sway is actually holding the flag still, but she's not going to be able to find anyone. Despite being down, he's going to be a 3v5 retake and make that a 2v5 instead. Orangutan are showing signs of life here.
I love that. I mean, even if you don't really find anyone off a big flank, just by making a little bit of sound, you kind of force that bit of paranoia for Alter Ego Celeste. They're always checking their back now, but now kind of just going in for it. They want to take back this site. At this point, though, I think only about 20 seconds left, and Sway is holding down some of these angles. Support from Casper as well. They managed to win yet another round. This is 8-3. Let's see if we can go 8-4.
Yeah, they're definitely trying, but you know how crazy this is to lead for Alter Ego Celeste? They haven't had to eco a single round. No matter how many times Orangutan had to buy, they still have enough to buy right now. And that's absolutely insane to me. They
And an
bought every
operator.
single round and an operator. This is just absolutely crazy. If Nevsky sells 1 bullet from the headhunter, she can even buy another rifle to donate to charity. I don't know.
To donate to charity. Oh gosh, it's one of those things where you can't afford to do that just because you've won so many rounds in a row. Orangutan, though, of course, let's see how they actually decide to play this one out, because I loved how they were playing a little bit more default, a little bit more slower, a little bit more conservative in the previous round. It allowed them to get some of these opening picks. Possibly, let's see if they can do it again. This time, a lot of utility being dumped out in towards A main. They've kind of started to read or get a sense for Inari's positioning in that one area now. Possibly, if they can actually overwhelm the B side, this might be yet another opener.
You are divided!
Oh, they're actually getting baited. It's actually a fake, but do they know that? It looks like they're
Oh.
thinking twice about this.
Oh, okay. They've pulled off some rotations, but again, this is Fracture. You're connected by Defender Spawn. So rotations, they don't actually take that long. And if you keep in mind, Areophilia has a Steam Beacon. Doesn't matter though, because they just walk right into sight, and Mythica instantly gets shut down. Viper's Pit nullified, and all that's left, Kachao and Casper inside of A main. This is a choke point, and Alter Ego Celeste dumps everything into it. Boombot, Rolling Thunder, bullets! Casper is dead. Kachao down to 30 HP. Oh no, Marquis, I don't like where this is going. But Kachao has to stay alive to do something. Unfortunately, it's going to be a headshot from Ayumi that shuts this down, and we go into that 9-3.
Yeah, it's going to be
Switching
9-3, but I don't think the curse is going to be a thing this time around because Alter Ego Celeste are showing dominance,
Really?
and
Oh.
I don't think so. There's no, I don't believe in curses.
All right, I kind of agree with that, but you know, I still want to hope. I still want to believe that they can fight back somehow, because you know, this, you talked about it, slightly maybe defender sided, and Orangutan, with the controllers that they have, they should be able to anchor down sites pretty effectively. They've
Yeah,
got
well-
sway on the chamber. I'm hoping. My fingers are crossed.
I mean, I agree. I hope that they're still going to show up, but right now Alter Ego Celeste are just a bit too good. Like, even in the rounds that they won, Orangutan looked pretty good in maybe 2 out of the 3 rounds, but most of the other rounds, even the first round that they won, was just so difficult for them. And I think that Alter Ego Celeste are just a bit more warmed up right now. For Orangutan, clearly Fracture isn't really the strongest suit on the attacking side, but I think on defense they might have a better chance.
You know, if I just and then blow out all of that hopium that I just huffed, you might be right, because Alter Ego Celeste, we see how they play. We see how coordinated they can be together as a team, and if they combine that with the aggression, just rushing down sites. If they can take down this pistol round, that kind of snuffs out all hopes or all chances of a comeback, because it's going to be a really tough mountain to climb from that point on. 9-3. If you win pistol, it's very likely going to be an 11-3. I don't know how you can come back from that.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. So the pistol round is definitely gonna be important, because that's where you start the 9-3 comeback, or the 3-9 comeback rather, from behind. Winning the pistol round and snowballing it into a lead. I think that Orangutan definitely have the players to make it. We've seen firepower from them. We've seen how they play. But whether they can hold on defense the same way Alter Ego Celeste held against Orangutan remains to be seen, because it's a little bit of a different lineup, like you mentioned. It's double duelist, enabling them to peak even on the defending side. On the side of Orangutan, it's going to be 2 controllers, so they're a bit more into retakes, into a bit more delaying the enemy push.
I mean, that's what the A in Alter Ego Celeste stands for. In ACL, it's attack. So that's kind of what we saw in the previous half. It's really just retaking, like you mentioned, and constantly going on that offensive sides. They just feel that much more comfortable, which is why this second half is definitely kind of a daunting task for Orangutan Esports. But still, you gotta huff that Hopi, man. Let's see what they can do. They're already stacking up on the B site. We've got, I think, Casper just kind of roaming around through defender spawn. 2 players positioned towards Dish. But look at Alter Ego Celeste, just 4 players. You know, this is setting up for some kind of an exciting play.
Yeah, it's a 4-1 split, but you can see Orangutan, they're just holding their positions. They're not pushing out that aggressively, except from Dish. So this might actually be the interesting difference here, as Kachao actually gets Iceberg with a grenade.
But now they have to hold it down inside of tower, and they will! Mythica landing her shot, straining out for Kachao. And all of a sudden, 2 players are all that remains. Sway even landing another one. They might not know that Navsky's on site, but now they figure it out, and it's all down to Mythica as she taps away with her ghost. And we take this pistol 9-4 now. Orangutan, not bad.
Yeah, it's exactly what they need, winning the pistol round. We just talked about it just now. This is a round that they need to win. I'm not sure how Iceberg dies there. I think she was surprised by the nade a little bit, but Kachao getting 2 kills for the opener. Actually really important for Orangutan. They need those 2-for-1s, right?
No
like
kidding.
they need those trades. They need to take down your Inari, your Ayumi. They're just a little bit too strong. They're
just
definitely the star
from inside
fraggers.
tower. But here we go. I mean, star fraggers now, they're pulling out the sheriffs. I'm not gonna huff too much hopium yet, but let's see how Japips and Sway deal with this. Already whiffing a couple of headhunter shots, but not too bad, because Japips is here to watch her back. And there we go, back into it. Sway is the IGL after all, so they are probably calling that this hit is coming towards the A site, and that is why they are positioned right around door.
Yeah, Alter Ego Celeste are playing in a bit slow. I think they want to get a feel of what Orangutan are gonna do on defense. Normally, we see a lot of teams just rush in. Yeah, exactly. Normally, teams just rush in on eco rounds. They just like rush, see if we can get a spike down. But right now, they're trying to read Orangutan's defense, and because of that, they're just playing a bit slow. They're gonna try to look for more picks. They know that Sway is low. They know that Jipips is tagged as well, so they have a chance at making this expensive at the very least.
Toe into the water. Still into the pool, and already they get eliminated. The gun diff is just too big, but still 2 players remain. Spike gets planted down, and Aftershock just in to flush her out of position. They need to be able to land this one, and Inari still devastating, but unfortunately this time, so many players rushing down to her spot. It's gonna be Orangutan securing a close to flawless win. Minimal damage, only 1 player killed in that round. This is a pretty good start, I must say.
Yeah, it's pretty good for them. Alter Ego Celeste are going to be happy with that spike plant at the very least. They can buy up some rifles and refill their utilities. For the ones who bought a sheriff, of course, they won't be able to buy full armor, but it doesn't matter Alter Ego Celeste, because we'll have to see what they can do on this rifle round, because Orangutan are showing signs of life here.
I like this life, but also this is now the round that we start to see things actually happening. Sway, interestingly
Operator?
enough, pulling out the operator in round number 3. I mean, maybe she could have done that just because she's been going with the headhunter for the previous rounds. But now you pull out such a big gun, you better make it count because you're up against Alter Ego Celeste. If they just flash right by you in such incredible speeds, I don't know if you can really hold that down. They're setting up for the same take that we saw in the pistol round. And I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah, they might get surprised with this operator though, but they should know that Sway had enough creds to actually buy this op, so they might be a bit wary of that. But if they don't win this round and if they don't save the operator, it's gonna be too much of an expensive investment. So it's a little bit of an all or nothing here for them, and Inari is just gonna make that investment go to zero. The stock market is dropping, and Alter Ego Celeste are getting into the side of Mythica. Makes it an even trade.
How do you do such a thing? That is the equivalent of buying high and unfortunately selling low. Alter Ego Celeste, they know this all too well, and that is exactly why they picked this map. Mythica, though, will be looking to take Sway's spot, picking up the operator now. Big guns, but I don't know how well that's going to help them out inside of this retake. Still, though, nice little bit of a Nova Pulse. They allow for Casper to push up front. Yumi holding it from tower, though, left unchecked. She's going to be a little bit more painful. Japitz covers her teammates back. And now it's down to 3v2. Mythica finds yet another one. And now all that's left being Iceberg. They should be able to get this round. Time is still good, so Orangutan, not too bad. Despite losing Sway early on, they come right back in.
Yeah, even after that 1-for-1 trade, Mythica really holding the fort down, and those Spectres seem so deadly in the hands of Orangutan. Able to take the bonus round, and a lot of them survived as well, so this could be free upgrades for them. They save the op, they get the upgrades, and this is the equivalent of the stock market going back, bouncing back up.
Hey, we like that. We take those. You know, sometimes things happen, but then there's that light at the end of the tunnel. 9-6. And Orangutan are still very much in this game, but what am I seeing from Alter Ego Celeste? Buying up Spectres, light armor, shares as well. They are going in fast. Sway instantly rendezvousing out of there, but she doesn't really expect them to push out a door. She has to run away, and this just means full control for Alter Ego Celeste over the A site.
Yeah, that's absolutely insane aggression from Alter Ego Celeste. Even after Sway already uses a rendezvous to get out, they're able to get up in her face still and rendering this operator pretty much useless right now.
Yeah, you said that once before. Every single time you're pushed back, your defensive positions get weakened, and Inari somehow still just landing sharp shots with a Spectre as well. Possibly ADS. The Pea shooter is so strong just because you can hit headshots. And with all of this utility as well, it's preventing Orangutan from actually pushing up front. The satchel will allow for Kachao to find a little bit of something though, but does she have enough time? Japitz, she needs to find these frags, and at this point, I don't think that's going to be enough.
Yeah, just no time right now. Ayumi's even staying there, uses the blast pack to get away. Let's see if she can save this op. And she gets a kill though, and Ayumi with that 4K. It's a thrifty round from Alter Ego Celeste. Iceberg unfortunately not able to get a gun, but it doesn't matter because they just won a round that they were not supposed to, just because of flawless execution. I think the Spirit of Tarathiel is in the Spectre that Inari was using.
That's exactly it. This was supposed to be Orangutan's round. They had the full buys, they had the upgraded guns, they had the operator, but just by sheer speed, just by sheer, I don't know, sharpness from these girls, Alter Ego Celeste, they claim that site. And now, again, Gunnar, Orangutan's coach, calling yet another timeout. What do you think they could be discussing, Key?
I think right now it's all about how they structure their defense. So what Alter Ego Celeste was able to find was a weak spot in terms of where Sway is. So Sway was playing a little bit forward, which is normal for a chamber, immediately backs out to the rendezvous, but was just a little bit overwhelmed because of that short path from the door onto where the rendezvous was on the side of spawn, that elbow there. So because of that, they were immediately overcome with all 5 players of Alter Ego Celeste going to the site, and well, they lost a few aim duels that they shouldn't have, such as a Spectre versus an Op at long range, and it just made it so difficult for them to come back into that round. So for Orangutan, they need to restructure their defense a little bit. Maybe do a little bit of more of that conservative default hold that they had in the pistol round, especially because Alter Ego Celeste, you know they're coming in fast, so you're gonna have to be ready.
You really do. It's so unpredictable, but you have to watch out for those things. And look at what they're doing! Just overdrive right in towards Mythica. The Viper's Pit gone. Even with Sway pulling out the glass cannon operator, she's got no shield right now. I don't know if this is gonna work at all.
Almost out.
They're hiding inside of this sky smoke, and it's just so scary for Orangutan to even try to start this retake. It's cutting off so much in terms of rotations, and the Sheriff is finding frags. It's a triple kill already for Inari, and you know she's looking for more. Picks up the Vandal now, swaps to the other side, repositions, and Orangutan continuing to push outside of spawn itself. She holds down the angle, finds the fourth, but gets shut down by Casper. Down to the 1v1, and she pulls off the Cosmic Divide. She wants to go in to stick the defuse, but here comes the Aftershock. She needs to find Iceberg, who's coming out from the other side now. Then she hears footsteps. She gets stunned! Iceberg finds the headshot! And just like that, Alter Ego Celeste win yet another round. It's 11-6. This crumples the economy for OGT.
Yeah, it's absolutely destroyed right now. And look at this Sheriff, just absolute confidence from Inari, coming in with her ultimate, and immediately taking 1 kill down, gets 2 kills down, picks up a rifle, gets a 4th even, almost completed the ace. She was 18 HP away from getting that ace, completing a 1-woman slaughtering round for Inari.
It's just Inari things, and look at her right now, 22, 12, and 5. I dare you to find someone else on the other side that rivals such a score, Marquis. And even then, right now, the scores don't matter because they don't really have the guns to hold and prevent this onslaught from coming through to the B site. Marshals were good, but unfortunately none of those shots landed, and every single one of these players are already in position.
It's not great guns, they have sheriffs all around, but they're gonna have to hit some nasty headshots here. But Ayumi is gonna be the first one to hit that headshot. They're already coming into B main, but no one is there. They're all playing in tower, and Orangutan are just not finding the picks right now.
Certainly still going to try though, going for this retake. Paint shells, aftershock, it doesn't matter. OG, they will try to find whatever they can, but it's still too oppressing from Alter Ego Celeste. They push out, they find frags, and all that's left is Casper, down to 25 HP as well. A single shot to the center mass of her body, and Ayumi secures a triple. This round is gone, and it's match point for Alter Ego Celeste.
This game looked like it was going to be close. We went from 9-3 to 9-6, and it looked like Orangutan was building momentum. And then all of a sudden, Alter Ego Celeste win a thrifty round and straight up win 3 rounds in a row. They looked so dominant after that thrifty win. It seemed like they're like, okay, we figured the defense out. Let's start winning this game. And now they're in match point all of a sudden. It's like we were looking at a really close match that suddenly just broke apart.
Let's play.
And the comeback was almost possible as well. They started off so well in this half, but here comes Alter Ego Celeste once more. Rolling Thunder already committed, and here comes the counter as well. They might have pushed up into 4 positions, but here comes Mythica. Here comes Orangutan. The Ape Army is strong, and they want to stop them from going forward. Doesn't matter if they're a match point. We're not going to give you the win. They find yet another one, and all that's left is Napsky. She might have her tour de force, but will she be able to hold off pushes from multiple angles? You got A main, you got the door. She's afraid right now. She's pinned down, Marquis.
Yeah, they can't do anything right now because she has a tour de force. It's difficult to kind of peek aggressively with that.
Out.
She has to clear angles one by one. She might be able to get this kill onto Mythica though if she gets lucky. No, she's looking the wrong way. The barrel of the gun. That gun is a little bit too long to be too sneaky there. Napsky not able to find a kill, and Orangutan survived yet another round.
Here we go. All right, this is, I don't want to jinx it, but this is where dreams start. 12-7. We got 5 rounds to push us into overtime. Can OGT do it? This defense looks so good that I believe that they actually can. So let's just take a look. I mean, do you think they can pull it off once more? The A site has been a favorite hit for AECLs thus far, and this time around, OGT shuffling things around a little bit.
I think if Neri gets the first kill,
Ooh, good job.
they might be able to get something here. But here's the showstopper
yeah.
already committed. Yeah, I don't think she'll find anyone at this point.
Satchel
Because
out.
Alter Ego's
What?
already moved backwards.
Ah!
Okay, she doesn't find anyone at all. Great discipline for Alter Ego Celeste, but Ineri,
Oh,
her ultimate is running out. She's running out of steam. Kachao
Spike down
is gonna
A.
get one, but Iceberg is gonna trade. Pips though, it's gonna take Ineri down. She finds her already in sand, and right now Alter Ego Celeste are outnumbered 3v4 right now, but you can't count them out just yet.
definitely not. Was a good little bit of early round aggression from OGT. Denies a little bit of space, a little bit of timing from Alter Ego Celeste. Still though, after that early exchange now, going in just to pick up the alt orb, OGT knows that there is a little bit of presence in towards the A side, but what they don't really know yet is the possible rotations. They hold down the angle once more, and Sway connects a beautiful headshot on towards Napsky, and that just thins down the herd even more. This time around, the numbers really do favor OGT.
30 seconds
Yeah, in a
left.
3v4, I would still say Alter Ego Celeste might have a chance, but 2v4 is just a little bit too difficult. But you know, it's still a Yumi. It's still Iceberg supporting her as well. They can still break the site down because there's only one defender left from Orangutan on this side. She gets flashed, and there we go.
10
The
seconds
numbers are
left.
starting to thin down, and Alter Ego Celeste
Spike
are going to be
planted.
able to get this plant down. Ayumi is going to get really low. Blast packs away to safety. They're both in tower right now, and I actually dare say that Alter Ego Celeste have a very good chance of taking this round.
It's not impossible, but the very one thing that OGT has got going for them, they know that these girls are inside a tower, but Ayumi pulls out her showstopper. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, this is scary. She lets the headshot though. Japip, she saves her team. It's a triple, and OGT go into 12-8. Not bad. Let's keep this going.
Great shutdown from Japips there. The showstopper not gonna stop Orangutan from winning, well, from rather dropping this map. Because that showstopper was so scary the previous time when she actually got that double kill. But right now, it just didn't work out. Japips was ready for that. She inched forward a little bit to get that kill and stopped the showstopper instead.
It's good. I mean, this one tiny little inch allowed her to get that headshot, completely denying the showstopper. I don't think Ayumi expected that. Maybe the fact that they should have been running away, but nah, that's not what you want to do against such a team. And at the same time, just such masterful plays from both Xiao as well as Iceberg. Now coming into this round, Sway with the operator once more. Presence of it. She gets an opening frag. This is what they were looking for.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need. Getting those first kills, because Alter Ego Celeste have been just rushing in with unbridled aggression. But right now it's being punished. And you can see that they're slowing down a little bit here. It's a little bit of half buy for Alter Ego Celeste. So they can kind of afford to slow down and try to feel things out. But I think that they're just looking, they just need that one round, right? So they're just looking for that one last strategy to win a round.
That's where things can get kind of desperate as well, where you can start to make mistakes, but who knows? Ayumi has that star potential, and she's already up in towards tower. Surely Sway heard the ropes. Surely Sway lands yet another shot, and possibly even more. Sky Smokes is only going to hold off for so long, and Mythica trying to flush Ayumi out of position, but unfortunately she holds her ground and lands yet another frag.
30 seconds
Down
left.
to the 4v3, they might not have the best guns, but this is still pretty scary.
Spike planted.
Yeah, that aftershock is gonna be Ophelia out.
Oh, no!
She's not gonna be able to run away because of the nades as well. Great utility usage from the side of Orangutan. 2v4 right now. Iceberg doesn't even have a great gun, but Ayumi gonna find a first one. She's gonna get that grenade, those pain shells back down. Gonna buy a little bit of time for her team. Oh, she gets a kill. Does she get the fourth? No, uses the blast right to get away. Iceberg is there to get a kill onto Kachao. Sway is trying to go for the defuse. Halves it.
One enemy
But it's
remaining.
not she's able to get a Yumi now down to a 1v1. Both of them pretty low. There's the aftershock. There's the stun. Fault line rather coming out. It's gonna be a half defuse coming out. Sway, is she able to get this kill? Iceberg just needs to buy a bit of time. There's no time. And
You have to stick it! No! Sway! That was match point! I cannot believe what's just happened. Marky, your face says it all.
She could have diffused, right? I think she could have.
She had it halfway.
She had it half.
No. Oh my god, that was painful.
I'm not sure if that was a bit of confusion on her side. Maybe she thought she was attacking. I'm not sure what happened there, but I thought she had a chance to get a defuse because she had it in half.
I just, I don't even know. I mean, sometimes I can understand playing the game. It gets so intense. You kind of get into that zone, that tunnel vision, that you just kind of forget the score. But even then, oh Jesus, that was such a close round, and you have to give credit to Alter Ego Celeste. That was magical, just from sheer presence of the utilities and the way that Ayumi was dancing back and forth between cover. It kept OGT on their toes. They were unable to find any remaining frags. They were unable to stick the defuse.
Yeah, I think they really had a chance there to really bring this game back in. But let's just take a look at the performance of these players. Absolutely amazing play. We saw Ayumi and Neri. Oh, sorry, what?
Hands down, I have to say, MVP in my books is Ayumi. Just from that last round, she's done so much.
Yeah, I think that last round put her over the edge over Neri's KDA just because of that 4-kill. Japips, of course, keeping Orangutan in the game, but Alter Ego Celeste are just a well-oiled machine. I think Iceberg really shot out to her breach. Her breach play on Fracture is just absolutely unmatched so far in VCT Game Changers APAC. I have not seen anyone with the same level of utility usage to help her teammates in getting frags.
It definitely looks good, and we see signs of life in both teams. Alter Ego Celeste now kind of starting to tame down their aggression a little bit, but also recognizing situations in which they can just rush down OGT. I mean, remember those Spectre plays as well. OGT, on the other hand, we see how tactical they can be. The way that they're using utility at times, coming in from the Breach players, coming in from Kachao even, it's something that really helps them out a lot. Sway locking down angles with her Operator, with her Headhunter as well. I would not say that this series is completely over. Yes, 8-13 is an incredibly good score for Alter Ego Celeste. Yes, we've got a Yumi with such incredible statistics, but I still want to believe in the Ape Army dream.
Yeah, I still think they have a chance, especially coming into the next map. Like you mentioned, Ascent isn't... Alter Ego Celeste are great on Ascent, but it's not their best map. So if Orangutan want to make a statement here, they're going to have to win Ascent against Alter Ego Celeste.
Ascent, man, that's the question right now. This is a map that we know Alter Ego Celeste so well for, especially last year when they would run the... I mean, Ayumi we're starting to see are a little bit more in KO now, but we used to see them run this Jet plus Raze combo, and Neri just aggressively rushing and pushing out even though they're on defense. It's things like that that really catch you off guard, which is why I think now is the time, OGT, they have to discuss all these threats. They have to be prepared.
Yeah, they definitely have to. And right now, Alter Ego Celeste just won a map. Orangutan are probably hurting over that last round. But let's take a look at the highlights real quick, because we're going to see a lot of plays from both sides, and Japips especially for the side of Orangutan. And this Judge, of course, one of the nastiest rounds that I've seen. Getting a triple kill with the Judge. So much utility usage from Alter Ego Celeste as well. That's the one thing that I really want to point out in terms of the improvement for the teams in VCT Game Changers APAC. The utility usage. Everyone's just getting better.
So much. I mean, in some of these replays, especially when you see in it, the blast packs coming in, sharp aim as well, but also the way that they actually come in for these retakes, the way that they take down the sites. Relay boat, such a useful tool for a Neri, and at the same time, they're actually combining a lot of these plays together. I mean, look at that Aftershock, look at the Nova Pulse and Pink Shells that actually pushes out these players out of positions as well. But again, I mean, everyone is just leveling up, and that is what we've got here in our VCT Game Changers APAC. This is Open 3. Open 4 is only going to get better, but of course, before we go into that, we still got map number 2, Marquis, Ascent. What do you think OGT can bring for us?
I think that OGT have a little bit more of a feel of Ascent. Like Fracture, you can see, especially on the attacking side. That's one of the things that I want to actually bring out. The attacking side is how you can see if the team is really prepared for a map.
Yeah, and I think that's something that they really have to start planning for, because we are going to go for a quick break. And in that time, OGT, they've got their drawing board out, they've got their plans, and we will see how they come back into this game. Don't go away, guys. We will be back soon. Man, 13-8 on Fracture, but the deed is not over yet. We are going into map number 2 in the VCT Game Changers APAC Series Open 3, Day 3. And of course, it is Alter Ego Celeste versus Orangutan Esports. Hey, I'm Quack, and this is Marquis. Man, I don't know what to think about Ascent.
I'm not sure either. We'll have to see if Orangutan can step up to the plate and recover from a little bit of a blunder in that last round. But we'll have to see because they are a professional team. They do have these skills.
Of course.
Even take a lot of rounds against Alter Ego Celeste. So 38 might look a bit dominant, but I actually think it's pretty close.
It is pretty close. It is an incredible showing and performance. I mean, this is their first time playing Fracture in a tournament competitive setting, I think. And for them to even put up such a big number, I call that a win. I call that a win. Professor Hall calls that a win. But I don't know about this one because now I feel like they're a fairly emotional team. The tweets that you see them making at times and how they support each other, this support counts more than ever now because this is their tournament life on the line. Lower bracket run, and we need to make this one count. At the very least, push us into map number 3. So Oranga Gang, Ape Army, everyone needs to rise up, man. They really have to just prepare themselves for the next one. Like, forget that previous map. Whatever happened, that's done. This is the one that counts.
Yeah, whether they use that emotion to in a positive way or a negative way,
yeah,
it remains to be seen, right? Because emotion is not always just negative. Like you could use emotion to spur like motivation to win around, maybe even muster up the strength to actually get this round. Oh, but we're actually seeing Chet on Inari.
Aha. Tried and true, it works maybe a little bit more so than Neon just because there are spots that you can updraft with. You've got the Blade Storm still devastating. And it's something that I think Orangutan, they are going to have to watch out for. Is Sway going to go with the Jet, though? That's the question in my mind. What?
Oh, wait, what?
I was not expecting that.
I thought it was either going to be like a Jet or a Chamber, but not a Neon. That's something new. And if this is their map pick, it means that they're ready for this lineup. They're ready for this team comp.
So this is something that I kind of have to preface a little bit. Neither team has played Ascent thus far in Open 3. Neither team has really showed what kind of adjustments, what kind of improvements they've made to their team lineups and agent composition so far. And now for Orangutan to actually pull out such an interesting composition. First of all, the Omen, that's pretty good. But then he got the Neon. What do you think, what kind of value can Sway actually provide with such an agent?
Well, it really depends on... Oh, hold up. Orangutan has played Ascent. They played it twice.
Yes, it's not like they've never played it, of course.
Yeah.
Everyone's played it, come on.
No, for Open 3, in fact. So they actually like Ascent, I'd say. The Neon is something that she's been playing on Ascent. So this is their default lineup for Ascent. It's just that you don't really normally see Sway on the Neon. Like it's something that we felt that Inari was a trailblazer for. But if this is what they feel the way to open up Ascent is, I actually might agree with it. In the absence of a Jet, I think Neon is the second best at doing whatever Jet needs to do, which is dash into the site. Her dash might not be the same dash as Jet's dash, but I think that Neon, providing that stun, actually makes the difference maker in terms of if you can actually stack your utility usage with your teammates, being able to open up that site using that Neon is going to be that X factor.
I certainly hope that it can be because, again, tournament life on the line now for OGT, and they need to make this one count once more. Sway, she is the IGL. She's the one that brought the team together. I believe that they can make it happen. Let's see what they've got for us. Every single one of them buying out Ghosts and agent composition. You know, there are some minor differences here and there, but I won't say entirely that one is better than the other. For all we know, Orangutan now starting out on the attack, they might have a game plan in mind.
Yeah, but to me, the difference here is the KO. I actually prefer KO a lot more on Ascent. But Orangutan have won 3 out of the 3 Ascent picks in Open 3. So this composition, while it's different, it might just work for them.
Heads
Oh, and it will! What a way to start things off! Expecting the aggression from ACL, they take out an Airy, but now here comes Mythica as well, and a little bit of presence coming in from A Short. They lose out Sway, but that's not the worst thing in the world. They've got the numbers now. Do they have the strats to overwhelm the site?
Yeah, they do have the numbers, and it's exactly what you expect from Altigo Celeste. A little bit of aggression, a little bit of a push, but they got punished for that. Japips got tagged down a little bit low, but looks like it's going to be an AXQ. The rest of Altigo Celeste will have to make their way from mid B. There's actually still a Killjoy waiting at mid. Mythica is still patiently waiting here. Hits Iceberg.
That is big value. What a lurk. And I don't know if Iceberg actually expected that, but Mythica making the quick flick and multiple shots to the face to actually make that one count now. 2v4 retake. Japips is low, but now so is Ayumi. Nebula coming in to block off A main, but they need to make the push out, and once they do, OGT are ready. They find the first one, that's Japips, but Casper makes it the instant trade. Oreophilia down to 10 HP, she finds even more, but unfortunately that's all she will get because Casper is here to play OGT, take round number 1. This is what we wanted.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need. It got a little bit close. I think Altigo Celeste felt that they had a chance for that, but Ayumi did not expect a double hell setup. And Oreophilia not getting that headshot, that was the only way she could have won, getting a headshot onto the last member of Orangutan with 100 HP, but unfortunately, she was not able to connect here. She had a crosshair there pretty much, but Casper just was able to shoot first.
Yeah, and of course, knowing that she's 10 HP as well, just a little bit easier to peek out. Not so much pressure to land a headshot. And now with the economy bonus, they get to go in with that speed. That this is what you were talking about, Marquis. This was practiced. She high gears right onto site. And of course, now they get the spike down, blocking off ACL as well. But they don't even care about those smokes. They just rush right through. Oreophilia will be able to find one though, but Casper coming in from B main. She watches it down along with Kachao. OGT still 4 players left alive. That is pretty darn good.
I like the confidence from Sway coming into this game. Even after the previous game, which we shall not talk about from here on onwards, this is very different Sway. Extreme aggression from her.
This is the one that we need. Like, you really just have to move forward. Like, forget the previous game, forget whatever happened. Believe in yourself, and like, this is the one that counts. Like, never give up. And we have to see the comeback start to come back into the game. 2-0 now. She's still going aggressive. And she just might be able to find a little bit more. Okay, fast lane coming out just to block things off a little bit further. But here come the stuns and all of the utility. They're stuck inside of lane. Oh no, Napski! The Nano Swarm, she gets the double! Iceberg holds it down with the spray from the Phantom as well. And how 2 players are all that remains. Do they know that Casper is over by Canoe though? Maybe not yet, but Ayumi finally finds it out, and Aneri just shuts down a single push coming in from A main, and it all started from Napski.
This is where it gets scarier. It's not just Napski, by the way. There was a stun from Oreophilia as well as the gravity well, which kind of made him stuck there. The smoke also confused him a little bit. It takes time to react to the Nano Swarm if you're in a smoke, because you don't actually notice your HP going down. But there was just too much utility, and that's basically skills killing them. It's just, you know, shooting is the thing that matters the most, yada yada, but that was just amazing utility usage from Oreophilia and Napski.
Just lovely, lovely bits of teamwork. And it's something that we need to see a little bit more of from OGT. Speed is good, but it can only work for a couple of times. ACL are starting to adapt to this now. And so are OGT. Take a look at your mini-map. The way that they're pushing this, it's an A split along with Mythica for the lurk, but Aneri just holding down the angle. A single tap to the dome, and she finds a headshot. Sway will find an entry of her own, however. And now fast lanes on towards site. Unfortunately, though, this is left unchecked, and Iceberg, she will be able to find one more. Goes back in for the overdrive, but unfortunately with too many players in front of her, it doesn't do all that much. Mythica's the only one left, and left alone in this lurking position, she needs to find 4 just to bring this round back in.
It's gonna be difficult for her. It's a Killjoy. Don't really have that dueling prowess. She gets detected. They know where she is coming from. Oh no! Oh, she gets one, but Ineri is gonna shut her down, and that's gonna be a reset for Orangutan.
Oh man, that is something that we kind of hoped would turn out differently, but just taking a look at how they've played, there are tiny gaps in this interesting strat that they're trying to pull off. Should have worked, but of course, when you're up against a team like AECL, when you've got Ineri watching down A main, you need a lot more map control, you need a lot more utility and tactics just to clear out so many of these different positions. And Garden, that was a big mistake. Let's see how they adjust to this now, but they don't have the best guns.
Not at all. Like they have a little bit of investment, a Spectre, a Marshal, a few Sheriffs. They need to land these shots, and they're playing it slow right now because they just want to find these picks, want to make this as expensive as they can. So Orangutan, this is their time to actually feel out the defense, maybe slowly feel things out, because they've been rushing the past few rounds every single time.
Definitely gotta feel it out and just try to get a sensing of how AECL actually goes in with this defensive formation. We're seeing a lot of Ineri as well as a Yuumi positioned inside of A main. They just bypass all of that. They might have just found an opening inside of the middle and now pushing on towards site though. They still have to clear the back. They will be able to get Napski, and now Iceberg. Mythica getting the entries for her team along with Sway. They've created space. They've got the site. Let's see how they fend off this retake. They've got the lockdown prepared as well.
Yeah, the lockdown is going to be the biggest factor in this win. So that they have to shut this down, but I'm not sure if they have the utility for it. They have nanoswarms, yes, but they don't have the shock darts. Does the knife actually shut this down? But the knife is not up for Yuumi. She does have the fragment, but it's not easy to aim behind those boxes. I don't think people really prepare for this lineup.
I think you're gonna have to force them to play for time and just fend them off long enough they actually cannot be able to retake and defuse in time. Unfortunately, they're starting to get a little bit eager. They're peeking out just to block them off even further. The operator was a little bit too big of an investment, and I believe ACL actually planned for the exit frag, so they managed to make it out of that one live. But OGT, they take one more win.
Yeah, they take the win off of an eco round, no less. So I think that really feeling that defense, really finding a hole at middle, and being able to overwhelm the hold on the B side was the biggest difference maker here.
I'm trying to think if that was like the long game that AECL were playing as well. I mean, lockdown deployed. Okay, you use that ultimate. Now I have mine. I mean, look at the ultimate economy on the side of AECL. They've got close to 4. If Natsuki finds one more ult point, so this might start to turn the tide. OGT needs to play a very conservative style, something that gives them a big advantage, because the retakes from AECL are going to be strong. You can see they are just setting up for it.
Yeah, Kachao already used the Rolling Thunder, so
Oh
they
my
can't
God.
use that to discourage a push. And yes, Ineri is flanking from so far away. She's going to use those knives to get the headshot onto Casper. The spike is down, so this retake is going to have to happen fast. 5v4 right now. There's the Cosmic Divide coming out as well. Mythica is going to take Ineri down though, but Natsuki is there for the trade. Ayumi gets taken down, and so does Iceberg and Oreophilia. Only down to Natsuki, who gets taken down. Orangutan.
They just held it down. I mean, coming in from stairs, coming in from B-Main, coming in from the Speedway itself, Sway was able to find sufficient frags to prevent AECL from going in with a fast retake. I think AECL, they left some things unchecked.
Yeah, and this time around, it was them who used all the ultimates. We were talking about all the ultimates just now, maybe part of their plan, but they used all 4 of those ultimates and still lost their round.
Oh, well, now things are looking a little bit strange. OGT, 2 ultimates at the ready now, and AECL have to temper their aggression just a little bit. Meanwhile, operators are being pulled out once more, and Ineri is looking to lock down this middle ground. She will be able to take down Sway, but not before Japips does get a trade as well.
Yeah, they do get a trade onto a Yuumi who was trying to help Ineri out, but I think right now they still have a pretty good chance on the side of Orangutan because they've already whittled down 1 member.
Yeah, it's still fairly even, and looking at the mini map, this is quite a bit of map control for AECL. They don't have the most information, but just by sheer timing alone, now that the dark covers are getting sent out by Casper, the rotation will come in, and they know the hit is coming in towards the A site. Spectre still good for one, but of course OGT gets the site. Question is though, Inari with the operator, will she able to pull off big value?
Yeah, this is a really expensive gun, and if she can get some returns on this operator, would be greatly appreciated from the team. It's gonna be 2 on A main though. They don't have a smoke anymore to block off A main, so they're gonna have to fight this. Nabsky's already inching to the side, looking for someone at Hell, but Japips is just disciplined, hiding in Hell, waiting for contact before starting.
Time is ticking down to about 20 seconds now. They've started to go in, but unfortunately the trades are good. But so is Inari. Operator, and she nails one more, but at this point she's run out of time. And Kachao knows that she's done her job. Still though, a little bit too early. Allows for Inari to make it away alive with the operator. I think she could have held that a little bit longer, but still, it is a good win, and they held down the best defensive positions for that round.
Yeah, this win was absolutely really close. Came down to the wire. Like you mentioned, I think if Inari maybe had a chance if she got it to half, but I don't know if she would have gotten the kill onto Kachao. Look at the time here. Yeah, getting the kill, at least they clean up shop to keep the economy from Orangutan from going too crazy. Yeah. And the rest of Alter Ego Celeste, they're not going to be able to buy this round because they got to stop the bleeding. They're losing quite a few rounds and a little bit too much for their taste.
Definitely. Which is why Inari's holding on to her operator. Still though, this fast push, high gear, fast lane coming in from Sway. It's such a useful take that I think this is one of the first times that I'm actually seeing this. And because of the economy on ACL side, they can't really hold it down.
Yeah, they're just having trouble holding, and I think that they just really need to get more picks here. Retool for the next round. I've not seen A Celeste really call a timeout yet, but I think after this round they might just need to.
Well, they've got no real coach, and now they're just jumping into it, dropping like flies because Casper holds it down and actually picks up a triple. Yeah, this is the time for AECL to really reassess the situation and think about how they can actually play this. We've seen how they can perform with Sheriffs before, but this, jumping down like that, that's not it.
Yeah, definitely not it at all, but props to Orangutan as well. They've been playing together as well. If you take a look at the kills, it's pretty close. But the round wins. That's the biggest difference maker here. The kills are very close.
Indeed. I mean, if you see Sway, okay, she's got 5 kills right now. Maybe not at the top of the scoreboard, but the value that she provides just by sheer speed alone, dashing into sight, creating so much space, the entire team works together. It's like they're a well-oiled machine, and now they are slowing things down. Oh, this is interesting.
They're gonna go for this aggressive peek. Alter Ego Celeste are not slowing down. They're the ones still pushing out forward, and they're able to get some utility usage out of it. So that rewards them a little bit. This Neon, she doesn't have the fast lane anymore. She doesn't have the stun anymore as well.
Forced them to spend a little bit of utility, and this just means that it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to stall off retake advances now. They might have gotten the site. They are starting to get the spike planted, but the Hunter is being committed as well. Doesn't find anyone, though. That's a little bit surprising.
Shit, Ayumi.
That's its teammates. But now here it comes. Okay, we've got Kachao. She still has one aftershock. Again, it's just ACL forcing Orangutan to spend the utility. Rolling Thunder getting committed, though. And Japips is able to find a double. She stems the bleeding and then holds off the aggression from ACL that she's able to find yet another one. Casper coming in at the right time now. And ACL has no idea what just happened.
Me neither. Like, Japips was tagged down so low because her shoulder was peeking out. She was tagged down to 23. And somehow she gets a double kill And even a third kill here
One enemy
after
remaining.
Ayumi was flashing. Iceberg wasn't able to flush out with the shock dart. I believe it just landed a little bit too far behind.
Whoa. Sorry.
What?
Oh my god! And they're all sucked up on B?
Are they up all night to get Bucky? Because this might... Oh, wait, what? There's a change of plans from Orangutan. They suddenly go A. Oh, so they wanted to go mid to A, and these Buckies are not going to work out so well.
Oh my goodness! And now they have the A site for free. How do you retake with 3 Buckies, 2 Sheriffs?
I guess you can
Spike
actually do
planted.
jumping Buckies.
Oh no.
And Namsky should know. She should
Should.
know to miss this here. Okay, it doesn't hit the shots though. Her team is gonna be there to
Oh no.
try
Mythica's
to
in
hit
danger.
Namsky as well. Yeah, she's in danger, but... Oh, 2 HP! She
She's
survives.
gonna make them hurt. She survives, and you know they're gonna gun her down. Thankfully now Casper is here to help her out. Finds another. Here we go. It's gonna turn into a firing range. She picks up the double. And all that's left. ACL knows they are running out of time for this retake. Sway! Turn around.
No.
She gets it! The last one left is Aneri, and the shock dart hits her. Oh, it's direct impact. Still with the Bucky though. She finds one more. Another direct hit. Another direct hit. But unfortunately, that will be all she gets because 2-8 and OGT, they've got the strats for attack.
They definitely do, and they've been really running away with these rounds, even though they lose a lot. Algae Celeste have been keeping them in check by getting a lot of these kills, especially on the eco rounds, but Algae Celeste are just not converting these rounds. Ayumi missed a second shot from the Bucky as well, but Ineri was there to clean up shop, really making it expensive for Orangutan.
Oh
And-
my god.
Okay, wait, hold up. Those Bucky kills gave Ineri just enough creds to buy a rifle for a teammate and her teammate to buy her an op. So the investment kind of came back there
Kinda
for
paid
them.
off, huh?
Bot coming back.
2-8 though. 2-8 Marquis. This is a first for me watching ACL on Ascent. And well, it clearly shows the way that they're playing now, so more defensive than we're used to seeing. Ayumi all the way in the back of defender spawn. She's kind of sensing that OGT might make another mid play because remember, so far they've been making advances outside of B Link, leaving Mythica to lurk in the exact same spot. This time, slightly different though.
It looks exactly the same as the previous round.
More or
But
less, yeah.
I'm not sure if
Slightly
Algae
deeper.
Celeste are gonna... Yeah, slightly deeper. She just was able to inch in a bit more. But let's see if Algae Celeste are ready for that, and Nabsky was definitely ready. Quick headshot from her, but she gets taken down by Casper. 1-for-1 trade right now, and there's the aftershock coming out. And Neri is gonna take down the lurker, though Mythica gets taken down. It's gonna be a 4v2 retake for Algae Celeste. The spike does go down, and it's going to be the Cosmic Divide committed.
This is different. Cosmic Divide is huge, but also the fact that they've eliminated that lurk presence from Mythica. Mythica used to buy so much time now that she's gone, it's up to her teammates to hold down the fort and prevent AECL from pushing in. Unfortunately, they're losing numbers, and now it's all down to Casper. With low HP, she gets eliminated, and there it is. AECL comes back into the game. At this point in time, it's 3-8.
Finally getting another round, a clean retake. Haven't seen that in a while from Altuga Celeste, but they definitely need these rounds, and giving
Last
Iceberg
round
the
in the half.
spike defuse there. I don't think Iceberg is going to be able to build up her ultimate anymore, but Altuga Celeste, great read from them, great hold from Nabsky here, and I think that they just need to do this yet again. Stop the flank, find Mythica in order to win the round.
Exactly. Stop Mythica. I mean, just by lurking alone, it's such an annoying thing to think about, that they're always concerned, always afraid that someone might be in that one spot. Now it's different. I think OGT, with this many rounds in their chamber, they can possibly pull off different strats, but they're playing from the same spots once more. Sway trying to make a play through the middle. It's been smoked off though, and this just forces Ayumi all the way back.
Yeah, they're playing a bit more defensively, but I think this works well for Altuga Celeste because you can see how Orangutan are positioning themselves. It's always... Oh! Ayumi too wide with that jump peak.
Yeah, a little too much. She wanted the vision. Unfortunately, it comes at a price. Still, though, it's a little bit of a trade. They get to find out that Sway is playing Neon with an operator, and Neri pushing out. No, that is, again, the lurker gone. This is a good chance for AECL to push us into 4 and 8 at the end of the first half. But Sway, she's going on the offensive. She's looking to cut them off on the rotations, and she gets Natsuki down to 23.
That was through the smoke too. That was blind. She was just trying to shoot through that corner and was able to get rewarded for that and damage Namsky down really low. Iceberg and Oreo feel like don't have great guns as well. They only have the Bulldogs, but here's the lockdown being committed. Oh, Sway hitting through the smoke as well. And it does not look good for Altair. So that Mary takes one down, but it's all down to Namsky, who's just really far right now. She gets all 3 detained, but doesn't matter. Does she even have the time to get anything done here? She takes one down, did not check wine. And she's gonna get taken down by Sway. Okay, here we go. 3-9.
Here we go.
Is this where we see the curse happening?
You said you don't believe in curses, Marky. You said that. So
Don't call me out here. Don't call me out here. But I actually think that Alter Ego Celeste might do better on the attacking side, just because they are so good at aggression as well. So they might give Orangutan a run for their money on the attacking side because they're the masters of aggression. It didn't work out so well for them this time around because they kept getting caught, but Orangutan, let's see if their defense holds up as well as their attacking side on Ascent.
I think that's it. Now it just kind of comes down to numbers for me, right? Because you have such a big lead. All you need are 4 more rounds just to close this one out. As long as you play it just well enough, just, I don't know, maybe safe enough, just fast enough on the retakes, on the rotations, whatever, you should be able to find these rounds. Even if you make some mistakes along the way, even if you allow for Alter Ego Celeste to take some rounds off of you, it's fine. You have that wiggle room, and that is the advantage that Orangutan has. Surely they don't let this up.
I mean, we've seen comebacks
Surely.
on other maps before. We've seen Alter Ego Celeste come back from big deficits before, but we'll have to see because they're definitely showing signs of mortality here. They did not do so on the defensive side. I thought they would be able to lock Orangutan down, but their aggression was just punished every single time, and it looked like for one of the very few times that Alter Ego Celeste were just had to re-strategize for their enemies. They're so used to getting their way that they can push out every single site. They can push out on short, and you talked about it right before the map pick. Like, and Neri just keeps pushing out here and there, but it didn't work out this time around. And she couldn't even push out until the last few rounds where she found a pick once on Nabsky, and I think that's about it. She was just punished so hard at the very beginning for pushing out.
It's a question of how deep can Orangutan's playbook be, because all these plays that are being made now, Alter Ego Celeste are being forced to react to them. They are playing Orangutan Esports' game, and that is something that, honestly, I don't think they were prepared for. So now that they're on the attack, maybe the tables are turned, maybe they get to mount a comeback, but at the same time, again, Orangutan Esports, they've got that wiggle room, and taking a look at this, you know, we might be thinking about the duelist versus duelist head-to-head, but a Neri 16-8, despite how strong that is, you have to accept that Orangutan, the way that they're playing together as a team in the end of that first half, it was pristine.
Yeah, it was just so clean from them. Let's see if they can hold this off. But I want to point out that Ineri is still on a tear. So even though her aggression was punished quite a bit, she's still getting those kills. And I think that if one of her teammates shows up on the attacking side, it just might be enough for them.
It just might be. Here we go. Second half now, and already starting things off. Sway getting tagged down to 70 HP. What? Through the dark cover! Ayumi! What is that timing on the shot? It didn't even look like it was coming from an area as well. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I actually thought that they was gonna get the kill, and then I saw the kill feed. I was like, wait, what? It came from Ayumi all the way from top mid. And this is funny because they're actually playing it slow this time around.
both sides really just trying to get a sense and feel for each other because they know how important this is. ACL, of course, they are already up by one map. They do not want to give up their advantage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Orangutan, man, they look really good. Now they're just trying to play it so safe, so disciplined. Look at them, not even peeking.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that knife was for, but I think it's kind of like to sell a little bit of a small
30
fake.
seconds left.
Now it's Iceberg
Get a
playing
little
Nevsky's
info.
position, so she's actually playing from mid, trying to hold that rotate, making sure no one rotates from tree.
Oh, wow. And that is the rotation getting cut off. No more lurker, no more flanks. Mythica pulling out the biggest anchor of her life, but then Neri just a quick flick to her head. And all of a sudden, all that utility is gone. Now it's time for the coordinated retake. Can they actually make it happen, though? Being held from hell alone, and Neri's still so sharp. She's got the tailwind activated as well, but Casper shuts it down for the time being. They've got the time, but they need to work together. Unfortunately, peeking one by one, and that's going to be a Yumi. Just to clean things up, a triple kill to finish it off. That is a strong start for Alter Ego Celeste in the second half.
Yeah, very robotic, very clean, very clinical. This flick from Ineri, also holding the fort down from Hell, while two other players, first time I've seen a triple Hell setup, and it really worked out for them.
I'm just trying to think. Okay, sure, they lost that pistol round. Now they also kind of get to maybe read how Alter Ego Celeste holds post-plant situations, at least on the A site. Different strats being pulled out now, though, from Alter Ego Celeste, and they're going to use this to pull themselves a big lead in terms of the leaderboard. They've gotten the A site, and OGT have absolutely nothing.
Yeah, they only have the classics. The spike goes down for free. The stack, it's a 50-50, and unfortunately for them, the 50-50 did not go their way. The coin flip just wasn't in the cards, and right now they're gonna have to go for this retake with 5 classics. Great discipline for them, though, really making sure that they win the next round. No overconfidence, no over-eagerness of trying to win more rounds, even after a big lead. This is Alter Ego Celeste after all. But they're still going to use utilities to come in as Sway gets the first headshot. Oreo is going to hold the fort down with Iceberg as well. That's going to be 3 down. Quickly shift to the Ghost, and Oreo with a quad kill.
My goodness, just holding down left click all the way from Generator, swapping to the Ghost. Master of Arms, and this is 5-9 now. Pretty good. You should have hoped for a little bit more damage from OGT, but still, Alter Ego Celeste are very much in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's how you start a 3-9 comeback, right? Winning the pistol round, converting the next. If they can do more damage to the economy of OGT here, I think it might look scary. You might be able to see Alter Ego Celeste climb this mountain.
Scared. I'm scared, Marquis. We love to see a little bit more active map control being taken by OGT. Sway just taking a couple pot shots all the way from A short. It's pretty good. Do they have more info, though? Now that Inari's pushed so deeply inside of market, a possible B split getting set up. Mythica holding all the way from stairs. Do they hear the footsteps?
It is the scary part. Being able to come in. Oh, Mythica. Great angle from her, taking Inari down. This is just pixel angle. Oh, but the flash is good as Alter Ego Celeste take the B side off of the KO flash. Nabsky is going to take Casper down as well using the Sheriff. And this is where it looks scary. It's a 4v2 now all of a sudden.
How does something like that happen? I mean, they started off with Spectres, but just because they're so aggressive, so fast, they go right in. But of course, reading the same playbooks, they will be able to eliminate that lurk presence. Not going back into it. You've got about 30 seconds for this retake. You have to make it happen. They're clearing out all the corners. They know they are on site somewhere. Taking out the first. Gets blinded. Unfortunately, though. But thankfully, Kachao comes back in to help out. Overfield is the only one left. Swaps to her Ghost. 1v1. Jumps and shoots. It's the classic right click. Kachao! 10-5. OGT still alive.
Still alive, but this is an Alter Ego Celeste thing, right? They make this bonus round so expensive as well. Kachao is taken down so low, they kill 4 members. They almost had a chance of winning that. But I think Iceberg was really expecting someone to peek from stairs, but Sway was just too fast. She just dashes in onto Speedway, which is very aptly named for someone like Neon.
It's built for Sway to do tricks just like that, but also Kachao finishing things off in such a
classic
stylish
moment.
play. I mean, yeah, you know that Oreophilia is on the Ghost. Might as well make it difficult for her to land some headshots. And now Sway, oh my god, on the offensive, looking for some aggressive frags with the Spectre at close range. She gets taken out, but here comes a counter push from B main itself. 2 players instantly gone. ACL, they're stunned.
Turrets destroyed.
Yeah, that was some great push from Orangutan, but right now the site is going to be given up. The spike might go down as Mythica is discouraged from pushing in because of the Nano Swarm. Right now there's a fragment as well. She's going to try to look for an opening. There's a Rolling Thunder getting used. They're not checking their corners!
No!
Check your corners!
Okay, teammates are here to help out. Down to Orophilia again, but she lands yet another headshot.
my
She gets
God!
the push. She flicks over. It's a double headshot. 1v2 clutch. What is this?
There are no words. That was not around. They were supposed to win. They lost so many members at the beginning, and they're getting an opening frag here, but it was just a bit too much because there was a push from B main as well, but they did not check their corners. They're blind, and Ayumi is able to take one out, leaving Oreophilia to win this 1v2 clutch.
Oh my goodness. Oh, they had everything too. Kachao dumped in a Rolling Thunder. It's just tiny mistakes, but it brings the gap a little bit closer now, 6-10. And Alter Ego Celeste are starting to dictate the game in their terms once more. You got upgraded pistols, you got, well, okay, mostly classics. This is going to be a tough hold.
Yeah, I don't think they can really hold this unless they get those lucky right clicks, but they're gonna get taken down. Sway has been taken down, but Japips is gonna find one. But Casper on Speedway not able to find anyone. Japips is gonna fall as well. Alter Ego Celeste want to clean this up. They want to win this round as clean as possible.
Spike planted.
Ooh. Oh my god, no way. The classics are just a bit too crazy. Getting that headshot and Mythica immediately coming in for the trade. Takes down Oreophilia as well. It's a 1v2 right now. It's unlikely, but it's definitely doable for someone like Mythica. Takes Napsky down really low, but Iceberg is going to be able to get that kill. Both really low though, and it started to look scary, but Alter Ego Celeste are able to string this round.
I feel a little bit of that. There was antsy nerves. Isolating the angle, she managed to find 2 frags, and even coming down to the last bit of it, she was able to take Napsky all the way down to about 16 HP, I believe. But unfortunately, over peaking it, she gets taken out by Iceberg with such an angle as well, only the head being exposed. It's tough, but here it is. Coach coming in to help them out. It's the third person's perspective, and they are going to use it.
Yeah, you just need a little bit of that insight because you really want to close this game out against Alter Ego Celeste, because if you lose this next round for the side of Orangutan, you're gonna have to eco yet again. And that brings Alter Ego Celeste prime for a 9-10 if that happens. So they need to win this round. They need to be able to break this streak from Alter Ego Celeste because it's looking pretty scary. They're hot on their heels, and Alter Ego Celeste, they're not slowing down.
They've been making some of these rounds really expensive though. And yeah, that's why we're seeing a Bulldog coming out from Oreophilia. I'm not sure. Okay, well, teammate can drop for a Yumi. A Neri going for the Judge. I thought she was going to go for the full Bladestorm TM buy and save up for an Operator on the next round. But okay, let's see what the Judge can do. Meanwhile, on the other side, Sway back on the Operator. What is this plan that they are cooking up? OGT headed towards A.
This op might just hurt them because it's actually going to be an A main push. I mean, of course, we know that because we have God Vision, but I think this Operator might be difficult to use, especially after A side has already been compromised.
Oh no! Yeah, just like that. Map control, everything, all negated. You might have been trying to play defensive, might have been trying to hold down angles with the Operator, but AECL just doesn't care. They go in. A-site is now theirs. And this presence of the Judge, which hasn't been found out yet, by the way, coming in from Hell, that will be very, very painful. I don't think now's the time to use an Overdrive either. Even with the lockdown trying to help them out with the retake, it gets destroyed by Iceberg's Hunter's Fury. Now they hear the Operator. Oh no, OGT, they're gonna have to think twice about approaching this retake.
And Nebsky also has her lockdown as well, so they can commit that if they need to, and they might just want to commit as well. And Neri using the Blade Storm gets the first kill, gets a second, gets a third! This Blade Storm is paying off! 3 headshots, but Kachao is gonna shut that down, but Iceberg is there for the trade, and alter ego Celeste, they steal this round and win it away from OGT.
What on earth was that from Neri? Just unbelievable! The Blade Storm triple kill! She had the judge just in her pocket for backup. And at the same time, the rest of the team to help out as well. Napsky with the lockdown just to apply that extra pressure. And I think that's one of the reasons why maybe Sway popped the overdrive from Neon, and it's one of those things that unfortunately gets a little bit wasted. And here it comes. The gap is now closer than ever, Marquis. 8 to 10. I'm nervous. I'm nervous.
If Alter Ego Celeste won off of timeout, they look like they have a bit more momentum coming into these few rounds, and I think that they might be able to catch up at this point, because right now Orangutan are on an eco, and it's not looking great for them because the eco rounds they haven't really been able to convert. But if they get lucky, Alter Ego Celeste just might push A, and they've stacked the site.
It's a good stack, and it's a good kind of gamble as well, but oh my gosh, Alter Ego Celeste, they're just not caring. I think they've kind of gotten a sense for it, maybe heard the turret even, and now they're just walking all the way over onto B site. You've got a Yumi on a bit of a lurk as well. If Kachao can find this, if she can find a Yumi, she gets to pick up a Vandal for free, but unfortunately she walks right on over. Teammate comes back in to tap it down, and Japips will be able to pick up that free weapon upgrade.
Spike planted.
Get an upgrade, but she doesn't have any help. She might just get taken down, and Neri is gonna look for kills at mid here. Oh, she actually, yeah, okay, that's the best way to do it. Passes it on to Sway, of course, who's been tearing it apart for Alter Ego Celeste. But let's see if they can actually do something here. The spike is down, the onus is on the defenders to come in. Only 30 seconds left. They're running out of time, but they're just gonna get taken down. No armor means that they can just get shredded quickly as Oreo holds the fourth down and gets a triple kill.
Just the shredder. I mean, the previous round with the Spectre to start things off, swapping over to Ghost. Now it's the Vandal, and she just has that spray control up against the pistols of OGT. It is just way too strong, and now we are at the 9 to 10 marquee. I've gone from nervous to afraid. They saved this round. OGT buying back. This has to count.
Yeah, if this is not where they break the streak from Alter Ego Celeste, it's gonna be a tie game, and they're yet again going to have to eco the next round because their creds are just not great. A few of them might be able to buy, but the rest not really. Sway doesn't even have the overdrive, and she can't buy or do anything the next round if they don't win this round. So they really need to make this count.
Really have to just chill for a second and really reassess and think about your utilities. Of course, though, ACL suddenly switching up the pace. They're playing it slow. Sway opted not to shoot the turret with her operator, so now maybe a little bit less information, but they've already called to push in towards A site along with the null command as well. Mythica's utility is all but not, and they've gotten the site. This is going to be a tough retake to say the least.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, but Hunter's Fury is going to buy a little bit more time, and Mythica getting that kill onto Nebsky is going to be really important.
No one's pushing though. There's a good piece of utility, but there was no aggression made off of it. Even with the one frag, it's still possible for AECL to actually close this out. The shot guard lets right into 2 players. But here comes Mythica. Finds one, finds 2! And now she's looking for another, but unfortunately Iceberg holds it down on the side from A-Main! It's up to Sway, and she only has her operator. Maybe even swapping to the classic will do something, but unfortunately these angles are way too close for her gun to do anything. She's got the frenzy. It's the Blast Axe. But coming in from hell, and Neri has this down, no problem. 10 to 10, AECL are back in the game. It's tied up. And I'm not sure how OGT's economy looked. It's not good, Marquis. It's not good.
It's really not looking great. And 10 to 10 right now. It's looking really scary because even though Mythica got that triple kill, the rest could not convert. And Sway, that operator did not count for her, and it's just looking like she's having a difficult time right now.
This is where tensions are high, emotions are running wild,
Standing ahead.
and I feel that some of those are influencing OGT's decisions. They're starting to get a little bit scared and a little bit less coordinated. Of course, now aggression in towards B again. They've called out that the site is clear. They know the hit is coming in towards A, but with pistols, oh, I just don't really know what you can do with this.
You can have classic moments, but unfortunately, I think A Celeste are just running on all 5 cylinders right now, so it's gonna be difficult for them. Oreo did get tagged a little bit. She's a bit low, 40 HP on her right now, but the spike is down already, and the utility is just discouraging any push from these classics.
Good usage of the fast lane, and still though, you talked about the classics, and AECL knows exactly how to play against that. Look at the positions that they're holding so far back. They're letting their rifle do all the work. Might be able to find some shots with the Sheriff, but unfortunately time is running out, and AECL, the comeback is real.
It's definitely the 3-9 curse. I don't believe in curses, but you know, it somehow happens more often than you'd expect. So I think that the 3-9, I wouldn't say it's a curse. I would say it's more of a misleading lead.
It's
not as big of a gap as people think it is.
It's one of those things that allow you to think that you have such a big lead that you can start to make some of these plays. Meanwhile, the opposing team just starts to mount a comeback slowly, bit by bit, and AECL has done it. Unfortunately for OGT, the timeout was called a little bit earlier as well, so they really need to just take a breather and think, how do we defend against this? AECL are playing it slow. They're not pushing, they're playing it so disciplined, but at the same time, this means no information.
Yeah, drawing a blank for the side of OGT. They don't have the best buy. Some utilities are just not available for them. There's no fast lane. The Aldron already been used. There's half armor onto Kachao. But they really need to make this round count because it's gonna reset their economy. It's gonna be a fake using the knife.
If they lose this, it's gonna be match point as well, man. Oh god.
Yeah, it's gonna be match point eco for them, which hurts.
Just absolutely the worst thing in the world. Salt to injury. And now the hit comes at the worst possible time. Mythica and Japips, this is all on you. Unfortunately, their positions have been spotted out as well. Trying to go in for the wallbang. The lockdown gets deployed. Team, are you on the way? Are you already here? Japips has gotten a double collateral with the Vandal. Coming in from Speedway, she repositions. He gets a shot at Sway. Sway's here to help her. And now with no time left, they've managed to save themselves. It is 11-11, and OGT deny that match point.
Yeah, absolutely did such a good job. And of course, Japips folding the fort down, getting that double kill at the beginning with this lineup. Absolutely filthy. And getting that double just allowed OGT to lock it down. Celeste still made it scary. They still got 3 kills. But unfortunately for them, it was just a little bit too late. I think Alter Ego Celeste playing slow is not their style. I'm just kidding.
Still cost quite a bit though. The lockdown coming in from Mythica, despite helping out a lot, was a little bit expensive. And now all the utility being sent down into A main. AECL heard you, Marquis. They want to go into A site fast, but they're getting denied. Relay Bolt was sent in from Sway as well, and they were stunned. Kachao though, she needs to stay alive. She has a Rolling Thunder. Do not waste that thing. Oh, getting that Yumi down.
They do have the Rolling Thunder for the retake still, but right now they've only rotated 1 player in. Ayumi gets revived because she had her ultimate up, but they can't find anything.
All of these suppressive bullets being sent just to push them back. And AECL are thinking twice. They've bought enough time for Casper to send out another dark cover. So AECL has to opt for a different approach. And Sway is already prepared for that inside of Garden. Can she actually hold the angle though? That is another question.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult because there's gonna be a lot of them coming in, but she takes one down. Nice fault line from Kachao, supporting Sway to get that kill, but Ineri is gonna take Sway down, and they rush into the side. Kachao is gonna take Iceberg down though, and there's someone else in hell. Casper is gonna look for an angle as well, gonna take a headshot, but Ineri is gonna be there to take Kachao down. Now down to a 2v3, still doable for Alter Ego Celeste, but they're running out of time. They're forced to plant the spike down with a pretty awkward defensive position, so they now have to hold this spike both from this one same side.
And that's okay. We've seen them make it happen before, but at the same time, it's down to OGT and their coordination. One to jump down first, now the second. They go in with a relay, and they take down Ineri. Despite the triple kill, it's not gonna be enough. And it allows for OGT to push themselves in towards match point. And at the same time, saving the Rolling Thunder from Kachao now. How, do I ask you, does AECL's economy look?
Match point.
I think they still have enough for a little bit. Yeah, they're
Pretty
full
good.
buy.
This could be overtime.
Full buy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, like that's how big of a lead they built up. That's how big of a comeback they mounted. They're able to still buy. There's really something about Alter Ego Celeste and their economy. It's just always great because they normally survive with quite a few players left alive. So I think that this round is still going to be pretty scary for Orangutan, and I just think we might be able to go overtime if Alter Ego Celeste figure this out.
It's very, very possible. And looking at their ultimates as well, you've got Neri with the Blade Storm, Hunter's Fury from Iceberg, Lockdown from Nevsky. It's primed for so much. They've taken mid control. They're deep in towards market already. OGT, they might have a bit of info, but they're down to a little bit of... they've taken quite a bit of damage as well.
Yeah, this the fragment really knowing where Sway is. I think they have it figured out.
I might just play retakes at this point if I were them.
Yeah, I think retakes would probably be best, but I think that the last two members, the two members defending B site might just get overwhelmed. Sway is also low as well. If Japips gets taken down here, it's gonna be really bad, but Ineri misses the right click, but Oreophile is there for the trade. 4v3 still.
You should run.
It's gonna be a flank. Oh, this flank might just be deadly. There's a Rolling Thunder though. There's an Overdrive as well.
Nice.
Oh, it's gonna get one. The Sun is gonna come out.
Nice.
It's gonna get two as well. Ayumi is there for the backstab. Takes one down. Last two members are very low. There's gonna be the Flash coming out as well. Flash is out.
No.
Gets one. Oh, crosses over.
Just
I think he's a bit too low for this. And Ayumi is gonna send us to overtime. That flank was so good for her, recognizing that they
Switching
still have the
sides.
Rolling Thunder.
Overtime.
She immediately made her way through mid. It took a while, but you know, heroes, they come in at the right time.
Just exactly when you least expect it, the cavalry arrives, Ayumi. And just with the perfect underhand toss as well, blinds them both perfectly. It's just so unfortunate. The Rolling Thunder, the Overdrive, it was so good. They cleared out the site. But unfortunately, Ayumi was there. And here it is now, Marquis. Still, tournament life on the line. OGT, can they keep it alive? It's overtime 1. And they are starting out on the attack.
Yeah, an attacking side. Let's see, OGT remember their strats here because they just switch back. So it kind of like resets your mind, right?
Here.
Like there's a mindset change. Like we were defending just now, and now we have to execute an attack. There's no breaks between like the last round and overtime. That fragment is gonna hurt so much, but Kachao just tanks it down to 8 HP. I'm not sure why she wanted to tank that, but I guess if she jumped out, she would have just gotten taken down. So unfortunately for her, she's already like has a foot in the grave. That's just Kachao being too low. There's a spray from Oreophile as well, gonna dish out a lot of damage to Japips. She's down to one bullet away from dying, but Mythica is gonna take Navsky down. Who needs HP when you can get headshots?
Again, with a deep lurk from Mythica as well, and it's a pretty active peak, active position that she's taking. Looking at how she consistently goes back in just to check the middle. Now calling it, making a different rotation. Sway is the one lurking, and you've got 3 players isolated from B site. If they can just rush in to overwhelm Iceberg, they should have the site, and Sway should be able to do something big.
Yes, Sway heard the run from Oreophile. She's running for the rotation.
Oh, no.
But I think she might be a little bit too
Come
slow.
on.
Iceberg takes one down on Orangutan. They're running out of time here. Okay, the flash is good. It's gonna buy a little bit of time. Sway, okay. I was gonna say she was a bit slow, but she's running all the way. Okay,
6
they should have
seconds.
heard that. Oh, they did not.
Oh!
The spike gets planted, and Sway is gonna take. I'm not sure why they didn't hear her running.
Maybe they
Switching
did, but they
sides.
just didn't want to
Match
care about it,
point.
because if they killed that spy carrier, it might just be able to win the round that way. But on the other side, Sway running all the way from a heaven. It's the same thing, but on a different side. Ayumi was the savior earlier on. This time it's Sway, and we have a real game. Gunner calling yet another timeout now. I don't know if it's a little bit early, but it certainly sends a message to the girls, and hopefully they get to calm things down a little bit, think a little bit more clear, because this is your chance to really close this map out once and for all. 12-13.
Yeah, they're having a difficult time closing it out, but they are primed. They are in position to do that yet again in this 12-13 scoreline. But AE Celeste, I think that their attacking side, they kind of have it figured out. So OGT, not sure if they can hold, but they do have to hold if they do want to win this map.
It's their defensive plays, their retakes. Sometimes it looks a little bit less coordinated, but at the same time, it's reading the situation that kind of really hurts them, because they weren't aware of the Ayumi lurk. They sometimes just play so defensively that they don't get a single piece of information, and then when they go for the retake, it's a little bit too late. I'm not quite sure how they're going to play this time, but taking an aggressive peek from A short, that could be something that gives them a bit more information. Oh, it gets smoked off though. Cloudburst.
Yeah, they always do this
Wow.
cloudburst so that Ineri can walk into the site.
There's an alarm
And
bot
it
now,
just
though.
denies, yeah, it denies so much information, but this is fine. Ineri has always pushed mid through an alarm bot using a cloudburst, and this is where they start dissecting it. Ayumi might be able to find someone here. She finds a lurk pushing out. She knows there's one more. Flashes back to safety. And that first pick might just be really important, because now it's a 4v2 side take on the B side. Ayumi is still kind of holding the flank here. Not sure if she knows that people are coming from A main, but she's looking in the right direction.
She definitely is checking it, but at the same time, because they push out an A main, they know the information. They know
What?
the hit is coming in towards B, but still they do not survive the hit. Nevsky somehow, with just a little bit of spray transfer, she gets a
Spike
double.
planted.
Sway and Kachao now. It's all up to them. 2v3 as they take out Ayumi. But this is so much information. They know where this hit is coming from. Do they check the corner? Thankfully they do. And this is slightly more possible. Coming back into it, relay bolt sent out, aftershocks just to clear out the corners. They need to land Nevsky, but unfortunately they don't. Sway does find the other, but here comes Oreophilia. It's just the teamwork from AECL, layers on top of layers.
Switching sides.
And it's 13-13. We go into OT2.
Yeah, it's really the layers. This is like, you know, Alter Ego Celeste, they're like an onion. You peel one layer, you find another, and as you peel, you're actually crying because it's painful. Right now, it is just having such a difficult time because it looked really good for Orangutan, but it just hurts that you had such a big lead, and you're trying to close this game out, and you just can't. And right now, Ineri is going to buy an operator. This might pay off for them because the spike is actually towards B.
Oh,
but we've
God.
seen this before from Orangutan. They actually run through mid to A short.
They've done that several times now, often leaving Mythica on the lurk. And I feel like they're going to do the same thing, but here's the thing. Ineri could go in for a quick flank. She's already taken out the first, I believe, alarm bot. And I think they're starting to get aware of it. Pushing deep into market this time, though, slightly different. Oh, there's just so much at stake.
Yeah,
And
look at the
there's-
spike. It's actually in the middle. And basically, they can choose to go A
Whoa.
or B.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. They're trying to go B, but they're a really deep position. They take out Iceberg. Now they've got it. They're going into it to Yumi. Oh, gosh. Back to a 4v4.
It's down to a 4v4. Good trade from Ayumi there to save Iceberg. Even though she was on the other side, I don't think they expected the mid push because this is different from Orangutan. We haven't seen this before from them. but it looks like it's 2-2 split right now, and time is ticking down. They still have
Whoa.
Ineri guarding the site, but the spike is going to be instead. But they still have 2 players on A, so they're gonna have to make this long rotation, which might make
30
this
seconds
awkward
left.
for them.
It's going to take quite a bit of time, but still,
Oh.
it's good positions because they can eliminate players. And if they go in with the coordinated push now, if they can overwhelm Ineri, take her down, they should have the sight and they should have the numbers. There it is. It's good. 2v4 retake. How can AECL do this?
It's a 2v4. They just need to take them down one by one. It just seemed like they did not expect OGT to make the decisions that they did. So it's so difficult for Altigo Celeste to get a read on them this round. So right now they're going to go for this 2v4 retake, but it's looking pretty difficult because there's still a lot of utility on the side of Orangutan. Kachao still has the aftershock, still has a flash. Might be able to get the fault line back in. There's the paranoid coming on. There's the flash coming on as well, and they take Nabsky down. It's all down to Oreo, who takes one down, but it's going to be a bit too much for her as OGT command match point yet again.
Good trades and commanding match point gives them yet another leg up on AECL. But once more, they get faced with this conundrum of how do we really defend against these girls who are just so sharp and so fast?
I'm not sure, but Orangutan definitely are not giving up, and that's what we like to see here.
I mean, the previous round, the AECL actually went in. They had a Yumi on such a lurk. They have all of these players just pushing deep in towards market, similar to how OGT actually played it. It's yet another mid play, and it comes down to Sway to receive them. Yeah.
They can find Sway. I think that's gonna be the biggest pick off here. Yeah, they do have aiming controls. So that's gonna be difficult for the Celeste, even if they do get the side, but great one way here.
And that is scary. Yeah, trapped them. They can't really push out of it. This is going to burn down 15 seconds. In that time, though, they're not really moving all that much. Meanwhile, a Yumi is going back in to check A main. She has a feeling that they're there, but wow, just a quick strafe shots, and they take Sway down. It's down to Casper as well as Kachao just to hold down the site.
Yeah, there's a fault line buying a little bit more time, but the spike should be able to go down. I'm not sure if they knew where the fault line came from, though, because you don't really see the direction of it. So I'm not sure if they are prepared for 2 people pushing from main.
Oh my god, Ineri. She's holding an angle all the way from heaven. She's thinking that they're by A main, but here comes Mythica to check. Does she really see them, though? There's the first one, now falls the second. Ineri's still very much alive and causing so much mayhem. They want to push into sight to retake, but they can't really do it safely. All that's left is Japips, just because so many different positions are being considered. Takes down the turret. People are trying to peek. She doesn't have time at this point. Lands yet another shot. Gets the second kill. But can she really go in even further? Doesn't matter. Iceberg closes it out. There's no more time to defuse. We go into OT3.
Switching sides.
This is just back and forth both teams, and I think that whoever figures out the other side first, the defensive side, that's really the biggest thing here on Ascent. Like, it's typically defender side of the map, but both teams are playing better on the attack side.
I mean, here's what I think. It's starting to turn into a bit of a stamina game. It's starting to turn into a bit of a
alter ego
puzzle. Yeah, they're calling a timeout, possibly just to hold off the momentum and maybe think about what they want to do. Because so far, neither team has won on a defensive side.
Yeah, it's just being able to hold the attack. I think that's a problem for both teams, and I think both teams have been pretty close. They bring it down to like 1 or 2 members remaining at most, but whoever breaks that defense will actually be able to take this over time.
I couldn't agree more. You win that first defensive side, and that could be it. OGT, they're going to try to run the same playbook, maybe slightly different. They've always gone for that mid push. It's something that's worked. It's tried and true. And AECL are trying to counter-strat that. Alarm bot placed in towards market now.
Yeah, it's little bit like the OGT defense.
Pulling them in.
But it looks like it's gonna be an A execute. All 5 members of Orangutan are actually pushing there. There's no more mid. There's no more mid hold from Mythica. There's no more flank. It's just gonna be a full-on A take. And they're rushing to the site. No damage has been done for both teams just yet. And Alter Ego Celeste are priming for a 5v5 retake.
It's nice and it's different, but it's still a little bit scary because now both sides, they're kind of split apart. 3 are on site, the other 2 are on A main, and you have to consider a flank as well. Casper's going in to check it. She does get a bit of information, but does she know that Mary's so close? She doesn't! Gets taken out! And here comes the retake from AECL. They were set up for this. They take out blind, and now all that's left are 2 more players.
What?
Instantly gone. It's all dismantled. AECL. They planned for this. That's what the timeout was about.
Flawless.
They were ready for a strat that we haven't seen from OGT, which is your perennial let's just rush site 5-player rush. But it didn't work out because Eneri just shut it down, getting the headshot here. The fragment as well, really flushing Japips out of that corner. The utility usage into the kills. They're the first ones to break that defense. And now, Orangutan, they're on the back foot.
Not just any back foot, Marquis. Tournament life on the line. The pressure is on them. It's turned and dialed up to 11. OGT. Now, no holds barred. They are pushing out. Sway spraying right into Oreophilia space, but still being held down. Casper makes the trade happen, and they want to deny that. Push us into yet another OT. 2 players left, and they are so far apart. And just in the matter of the first 30 seconds of the round as well.
That B pincer has been A Celeste's bane. Like they've won so many rounds on Orangutan because of that pincer, and I think that they just sometimes don't expect it. But I was surprised that Sway was able to get that kill through the smoke, no less. And unfortunately for them, they're just really low. But right now, Casper only has a sliver of health remaining as well. So if they go into the site and be able to take Casper down, I think they have a chance because it's still pretty close. Ayumi and Iceberg are still full health.
That's the gamble that you take with such an aggressive push. If you don't survive it, you lose some players in the process, and now you have to think about your remaining resources. So they're considering the fact that AECL might have rotated over, and because of that, they're playing so defensive, so conservative. By the point they've realized that the site is being hit on B, it's too late. Now they have to go in for this 3v2 retake with Casper down to 10 HP. They kind of have to bait her.
140 in 1, so she might just fall to a shock dart too. That's still possible. There's a fragment as well, not gonna hit Casper, but oh, it does hit Casper. It bounced off, and Ayumi, no, she's holding the flash. What are you doing?
A little bit unfortunate. Still thinking that she could have made some plays happen, but it's Orangutan, and when they have the numbers, the ape army, the Oranga gang. They swarm you down. 15 to 15, yet another overtime. And both teams now starting to figure out defense, starting to figure out how to retake. Still though, this only happened because of a miraculous push, a miraculous aggressive B pincer, like you mentioned. How many times can they really pull off something like that? In ACL, you can bet they're trying to cook some different plans up as well.
Yeah, it feels like it's a rock, paper, scissors kind of thing, because Alter Ego Celeste, if they actually attack on A, that B pincer would have just completely failed. But right now, it looks like Orangutan are not gonna let up. They're playing fast, still carrying over that momentum from the previous round, already trying to push forward on this A side. But look at Alter Ego Celeste. Look at the rotations. They're already there.
So fast, but still the sprays, the sways. She's getting some of them, and Japips is here to trade. All that's left is Iceberg. And even though her location is unknown, no way she takes out 4 players. Door being shut down now, and they just have found out where she is.
Yeah, door stuck. Iceberg is stuck behind this door, and she's gonna have to break this because she's not going anywhere else. She breaks the door, tries to look for someone who might be curious enough to peek. Shocks dot herself.
Mistakes But you know what?
Switching sides.
Things happen.
It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered.
Wouldn't have mattered. Just way too many players, right? 15 to 16 now. OGT, they take the first one. I think this means that they can afford to go in for something unorthodox, something aggressive to try and catch ACL by surprise. You said, like, I think that's a great metaphor. Now, OT, it's kind of like rock, paper, scissors. You just keep throwing strats, and whichever works first, that's what you get. But because OGT has the first round in their bag, they can mess around.
Yeah, they're pushing forward on this B main instead. It's not going to be that B pincer because they know that Alter Ego Celeste are probably going to expect that. So they're not doing that anymore, but it's going to be an A hit. And if they take the 2 players down on A, it's going to be an open side for them because both are actually playing on that short side. And Tree is going to be free. But, oh, they should know that there's someone there.
They definitely hear those footsteps pushing in towards the site itself. But what they're thinking about, is there a lurk? Surprisingly, no. In fact, this is a take that's very similar to what we saw from OGT just a couple rounds ago. So it comes down to retakes, and OGT are trying to decipher where these players are positioned. Dark cover just to block things off, trying to take a couple of shots, but it's not entirely safe yet. They really need some kind of utility to clear out hell. Going in towards generator first, Sway does it alone though. And now it's not checking. The dark cover is already dissipated. Sway has to find and clear out hell. She will be able to get the first one, but doesn't expect that there is another. Kachawi is here to help, and now all that's left are 2 players coming from A main. Finds yet another, and pumps the overdrive, goes into it, finger blast iceberg, it's the quadruple, and OGT going to map number 3.
Finally, OGT able to close it out, and it took a while for them, but they finally broke apart the defensive side. They also won on the attacking side and finally put Alter Ego Celeste down on this map. It got close. Alter Ego Celeste was able to send it to overtime despite a 3-9 deficit, but Orangutan able to close it out on what? Quadruple overtime.
I've lost count, but yeah, quadruple overtime. And it's just such an incredible thing of finally figuring out, this is how we want to do our retakes. This is how we should coordinate and clear out such a common position that AECL has been playing for the past several rounds now. It's always hell, it's always A main, and despite it being just a little bit disjointed, they still managed to make it work because they took out the couple of players inside of hell first. And of course, the duelist versus duelist, they have both done so much, but Sway has to be credited for leading so many of these charges.
Yeah, it's just basically rushing in, being able to get those kills. Even on the retake, she's definitely taking charge. She's the one first in. She's sometimes the one last out because she's able to get everyone down, and she's just on a tear, especially in overtime. It felt like she became a little bit slow, especially on the second half, but in overtime, she just stepped it up.
Definitely just turned it all the way up, and of course, you cannot doubt Neri as well. I mean, the entire team, remember, this was a big comeback from 9-3. That's insane. And they still managed to make it work, but OGT pushed it all the way so far. And it's through their efforts, their emotions, the hard work that they've put into this, boot camping all the way inside of Singapore. And now ACL, we're going into that third map. I don't know about you, Marquis, but to me, this is a little bit of a wild card because it's Haven. It's a map that we've seen from both teams, and I don't know if ACL are prepared for it, but at the same time, OGT, they need to recharge.
Yeah, they needed to step it up, and they expended a lot of energy for that, especially after that comeback from Alter Ego Celeste, or at least it looked like it was going to be a comeback. But on Haven, I actually give Alter Ego Celeste the edge, but we'll have to see about that.
We really will have to see. I'm not entirely sure. It's been a while since we've seen ACL actually play Haven. I'm not even sure what kind of composition they're going to use because even with so many of these plays, I mean, the Neri with the Blade Storms, it's so sharp, but when you've got teamwork, when you've got strats, remember, this is AECL without a coach, AECL without a dedicated IGL. They are slightly different from last year, and there's so much to think about, so much to consider. Meanwhile, OGT consistently calling timeouts, consistently seeing changes and adjustments to the way that they're approaching a lot of these situations. And you have to think, is this going to be the first time that we see AECL getting knocked out of a tournament?
I'm not sure, but it's definitely the first time they got knocked down to a lower bracket, and I'm still not used to saying that this is an elimination match, because Celeste are never normally on the point of elimination.
You hardly see this happen. This is once
no,
in a
never
blue
seen
moon.
it happen.
Never, yeah, not even hardly, never.
They've never been down to like match point, and now they are.
That's the scary thing. So, you know, it's lovely to see, but it's just hitting me again. One of these teams are gonna be sent off, and I really don't know which one. I love both of them. I love rooting for both of them, and I just don't know.
Yeah, but before that, we're gonna go for a quick break before we go into Game 3. That was a long game, but we're gonna have a long day ahead of us as well. So don't touch it, browser. We'll be right back.
Get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round. We wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, 'cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the
Welcome back, everybody, to VCT Game Changers APAC Open 3 Day 3. And we are now going to game number 3 of Orangutan versus Celeste. So you might be wondering how we got here in the first place, but it's basically because of a quad overtime game. We're going to game number 3. We are having such a series here. Celeste got knocked down, just for some context for those who just tuned in. Knocked down by X10 crit female. And because of that, they're in the lower bracket right now against Orangutan, where we are heading into the decider map, which is Haven. I'm Key, and with me is Hey, I'm Quack. We are having such a blast with the series.
Such a blast, dude. I am floored. I don't know if I have enough to carry me through the day, and even for this last map as well. I mean, you're talking about it like it's no biggie. Like, quadruple OT, you know, it's another Tuesday, whatever.
I've had one of these before.
Oh my, okay, you certainly have. But this is terrifying. Again, just to remind everyone, just to remind the Ape Army, the Orangutan, and all the AECL fans, I mean myself included, this is elimination day. This is the lower bracket. Whoever loses on Haven, that's it. You're gone from Open 3. And it's such a big stake for Orangutan Esports as well, because if you take a look at the leaderboard, they're not like all the way up. But this is one of their chances where they actually really get to practice as much as possible, learn as much as possible by playing against these other teams. And at the same time, if they actually win, that is huge.
It's going to be a totally different story here because the power rankings, they're definitely shaking right now. Celeste getting taken down. The gap, we talked about it, Celeste, and then everyone else is like below. That gap has diminished. Like
It's
X10 crit female taking them down. They're pretty much head to head with Celeste. And we saw in Open 2, Ren Victress actually were the ones who take down X10 crit female. And beyond that, there's also Team SMG and Orangutan hot on their heels as well. So I think that the level of competition is just getting so close.
Right? I mean, this is a team that never dropped a single never! Last year, not a single one. Even Open 1 here or there, they're pretty good. Now, this is completely different, and they actually might get eliminated, but this is why. This map is such a wild card to me. We've known AECL to dominate on this map before, but we've also seen how strong Orangutan has been on this map so far, because they played it against SMG, they played it against Aresta, now they're playing it again against AECL. They have had a bit of practice. I really am not sure what to expect.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they can actually get this map, because Haven is also great for Orangutan. In fact, it's one of the maps that I feel like they really like picking. But at the same time, Celeste, we've seen them on this map as well. It really favors the attacking side of it more, and both teams are just so good on attack.
It's actually crazy. That's the thing. You're playing on Haven, an attack-sided map, roughly, just because of the 3 sites. And just watching these teams, the amount of strategies that they have, the way that they're able to play and trick your opponent so many times, sending out lurks, it's something that you really have to think about. And even though attack is what they're strong at, I feel like this is the time when defense really counts, because if you are able to find a big lead when you're starting out on the defensive side, that could be game over. That could be what takes you to the 13th point in the second half.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's really getting the most amount of rounds on defense that you can get. I think that 4 is kind of an okay amount, but if you get more than 4, I think that's really the key to here.
Exactly. So it really comes down to it, and I believe this is going to be OGT starting out on the defense. Can they be the ones to find that number bigger than a 4? Because if they do, they stand a better chance, and they just might be the Cinderella story that sends AECL home. I might even dare say that this is akin to Zeta Division's run in Masters. Big statement, big games. Let's see if OGT can do it, Marquis. I don't know what's gonna happen, but these Asian compositions just roughly the same as what we've seen from the previous map.
Yeah, one difference is, of course, the controller. It's an Omen versus an Astra. Oreophilia has played every single controller, really. So she could actually play any of those, but I think that they do like the Astra here. Great headshot, great second kill as well because of the sun allowing Ineri to get that kill. And she got dinked, but still had 10 HP? Not sure how that happens there.
She's that sharp because the stun, so I think the remaining shots just whiffed completely, and now Napsky holding it down, lurking inside the garage. They really weren't expecting this at all. OGT has no idea how to respond to this now, and they don't have enough players to send it all in. 2 players are all that's left, and they are trying to whittle them down. They've got 2 players down to about 10 HP now, but they can't really finish it off. Even then, the spike just goes in like that, and it's going to be a flawless pistol round in round number 1.
If this is going to be the pace of the game, then Alter Ego Celeste are definitely coming in here with a fury. Because playing this fast, they're just not giving any room for Orangutan to breathe.
Oh my god. You ever seen, like, this is when you're fighting against like Gojo Satoru or something in Jujutsu Kaisen, and like he's like, all right, I've had enough. You haven't even seen my final form yet. I'm pissed off, and I'm gonna remove my blindfold. And now this is AECL going in with this. You said it before, unbridled aggression. They are just rushing in. Ineri's leading the charge, and she's clearing everything out by herself. Even looking down their crosshair placements, it's so sharp, so pristine. They are rushing and gunning it down. None of them are being fragged out. It's a mid to A take. What on earth is this?
I've never seen this before. It's actually a B to A execute with a pincer. They know that someone else is in sewers as well, so they're just running in. There's a shock dart as well to flush them out. The unbridled aggression, it's not stopping. They're not giving them any room to breathe. 4 of them pushed a link. And now it's down to a 5v2. They don't even have the guns. Orangutan has completely saved here with the classics, and Ineri is going to take a triple.
What an explosive start. And even if you take a look at ultimates, Ineri 7, I mean, she's close to her Blade Storm already. That is tremendous value. And if anything, AECL, now that they have the full, Orangutan, excuse me, now that they have the full buys, they really need to just, I don't know, maybe play a lot further back and kind of prevent AECL from getting to do whatever they want, because that was a B to A take. Nobody does that. You see that in ranked games, not really in tournaments.
Yeah, not, it's very rare. It's just like, not a normal route, but it really just took Orangutan by surprise, and they're not stopping. Look at this. She popped the Blade Storm already. She got a triple in the first round and triple in the second round. This Blade Storm might be the difference maker here in this bonus because she gets the range here.
Oh my gosh. You're absolutely right. That range is something that counts for so much. Sway, on the other hand, has a little bit of range as well. They're going range for range with the long, the big guns, the rifles, the Blade Storms, and they need to coordinate this attack. They go in, they make the trade tap, and they line up for Kachao! And Mythica finishes it off, preventing Ineri from causing havoc. It's going to be OGT coming back into the game right now in round number 3.
Not your day.
Hey, that flash was so good. They had them running like headless chickens there. And headless indeed, because that was a double headshot collateral as they lined up. Sway, they did not expect her to come through here because there was a, I believe there was a chamber trap out there, but she actually used her smoke to get through. And the swing out here, oh, actually there was no flash. She just swung out of the smoke.
I mean, that's one way to retake a site. It's maybe no flashes, but the fact that they had so many players coming out, you've got players coming out of C-Link, you got players coming out of Garage, and of course Sway just being annoying coming in from C-Long. 3 different sites, 3 different approaches, and it possibly over on the ACL, but here they go back into it again. They are so aggressive. This time they might actually be able to take the fight to OGT, who are hiding up around sewers.
Yeah, they have the guns, they also have the position, but there's 3 members on OGT on A. They have a little bit of a read on this tick, but they're just gonna kill everyone anyway. It doesn't matter. Japips, though, is gonna be a thorn in their side. Takes one down. It's not finding a second one just yet. There's the second. There's a third as well. Japips!
Down A.
How on earth did you just do that? The spray transfer is great! And she finds a double, but still, Inarius online. They've gotten control over the side, they've gotten the spike down, and it's all up to Casper. She's got a little bit of utility to work with, actually a full kit. But unfortunately, if she uses even one, her position gets revealed. She goes in to clear the crossfire, but unfortunately does not expect Nabsky, and her back's been exposed. It's the third win for AECL.
Still not slowing down. Even after that round loss, the previous round, it was a bonus for them. They shook it off. Japips, though, great hold from her. I think we've seen this so many times. Japips just holding a site down. I think she's one of the best site anchors that we've seen, but it just wasn't enough. Celeste are just too fast, too good, and too strong right now.
It's just too fast, too furious, and they've got that spirit in them. OGT, again, just because this is Haven, there's so much for you to think about. ACL, they love to go in for these fast pushes, but they could do that on any site. And if OGT doesn't prepare for it, if OGT doesn't slow it down, they are playing at a disadvantage. And right now, despite having information, they cannot stop the spike from getting planted. They cannot do anything, not even just dumping utilities to deal a little bit of damage. Just minor chip damage with the shock dart, but it doesn't do all that much. Orifil is still at 75.
Just waiting for OGT to come in, but Sway does get a kill though. The retake is particularly harder because you don't even have the range to fight this, as Ayumi takes Casper down with a shock dart. They are gonna have to go in from main, and it's just gonna be so difficult for them to get any space here because they only have pistols. They get protected too. There's one kill down, there's a second, and there's gonna be a third. Gonna be pretty clean from Alter Ego Celeste.
This is their ground. This is what they know. This is what they do. Fast takes, the side is theirs, and by the time you've realized where the hit's coming, by the time the spike's planted, especially on a site like A, I mean, you talked about this before, it's just so darn difficult for you to retake from. It's such a choke point that if you only have pistols, that's about the best that you can hope for. Now, moving on into round number 6, OGT starting to spread out a little bit more, but you've also got Sway with the operator. Can she pull off big value with that thing?
Yeah, she's already gotten chipped down to 68 HP. That's not good. 2 more bullets, and she gets taken down. So the operator kind of becomes weaker and weaker, and if she gets tagged by this Hunter's Fury, she might actually just fall. As Kachao takes Inari down, but Ayumi is able to take Mythica down instead using the Hunter's Fury. Casper is going to be here. The Rolling Thunder is going to be used as well. It's going to stun Iceberg, and Sway is going to be able to use the Classic to finish her off. It's a 2v3 right now, but Ayumi makes things even. Sway gets taken down by Nabsky, and it's not down to a 1v1. Nabsky actually aggressively pushing forward. Is she going to check this corner?
God.
Yes, but Japips gets the headshot.
That came close. Thankfully, Japips holding the off angle, just expects Nabsky to push up front, still able to shut it down, and still keeping the dream alive for OGT. 2-4. This is not too bad, but you cannot deny how good ACL looks right now. Take a look at these positions that they're playing. The moment they actually hit on towards the site, every single one of these flicks, every single one of these defensive positions are nullified.
Yeah, definitely, and the kills are just falling in place for them, and they still have the economy to buy this round, so they can still reset OGT. Sway still with the expensive commitment on that operator. Misses the shot. There is a 3-stack on A though, but that shock dart is gonna dish out a little bit of damage. Sway, a lot of damage in fact. Sway is down to 10 HP. Gachao 63. Right now they're gonna have to try and hold this. There's still 5 members of ACLS already running in. It's like a replay of that round just now. They just clear out sight. They just clear out everything.
How does this happen? They are so relentless, AECL. Even with a little bit of resistance, even with utility being dumped in from Kachao, they force it through. And they take down every single player on the site along with them. This is just ridiculous. Now the retake from the same choke point, and you've got all of these setups. It's a crossfire, and they don't check it. A Nary to finish it off. 2-5, it's a flawless win.
It's not just a regular flawless, it's an absolute flawless round. None of them took a single point of damage that round. That's how clean that round was.
Oh my god.
Not a single point of damage. How rare is that to happen?
I'm trying to shut that voice in the back of my head that says maybe Haven is not the best pick now when you're playing up against a team like AECL. But then again, this is a map that OGT has practiced for. This is a map that they're trying their darndest to defend on, and they're pulling out all the stops. You've got Mythica, Tour de Force. Fortunately, she's spotted now, and even stunned. Has no choice but to rendezvous away, but she's in an open position. It was placed in the wrong spot, and Neri shuts that down outright. And this is control again. Will this be yet another flawless round, Marquis?
It might just be because the rest of them, they only have pistols. That Tour de Force would have been great. They did not find a single kill at all. There's probably gonna be some damage coming down, but I don't think Orangutan can do much because they don't even have great pistols. It's a frenzy in classics, but Iceberg is gonna take 2 down already. She takes a little bit of damage. It's not gonna be an absolute flawless, but there's gonna be the flank from Ayumi. Takes him down. So there's gonna be a clean round yet again from Alter Ego Celeste.
Called it, and they just do the same thing. I mean, every single one of these rounds, they go by so quick that, okay, timeout being called by Gunnar now, OGT's coach, and it's one that's desperately needed. 3 sites, and AECL consistently just press the W key and not letting go. And even before the timer hits a 1-minute mark, the spike's already planted. You have so many different sites to consider. It's tough to control the map, dude.
Yeah, it's a little bit overwhelming, isn't it? Like even just watching them play, I feel overwhelmed for Orangutan. It's just too fast. Like how are they getting away with just running into sight and, you know, hey, Eneri go kill, and Eneri does kill because right now she's 14-2 and getting all those opening frags for her team and just really slaying everyone on the side of Orangutan. How do you stop that?
They're trying to play it calm. They're trying to get a good read and trying to figure out a solve to this puzzle. But I think that's one of the things. It's not even really a puzzle. It's just AECL playing the way that they're used to. Just coordinated teamwork, coordinated team plays, playing off of each other, and just pure aggression, pure demonic aggression. They've unleashed that beast inside of them. And I think if OGT actually wants to fight back, they need to access that demon inside as well. They need to find some way to attack on the defense. And that's exactly what Sway's trying to do now. Aggressive peaks coming out. Casper denying that garage push, but unfortunately Napsky comes right back in. Kachao's on the other side and she's thinking about dropping down. Hasn't been spotted yet, and she's able to find Napsky. Even footing for both sides now, and this is the first time that OGT might actually be able to stop them from getting the spike planted.
Yeah, they're just taking their time. Alter Ego Celeste are trying to look for another pick before fully committing. They know that Garage is compromised, so they can't really take that. Oh, great peek from Kachao. Sneaking up onto Oreophilia, expecting that flank, but there's the Rolling Thunder going to be committed. Iceberg is going to be pushing this. Ayumi takes 1 down. They should check for another here. They know that Kachao is there. Damn. They get the trade. It's all down to a 2v1. It's only down to Mythica. There's a fault line coming out, but it's not going to hit. She's going to be detected by that recon. Might be able to fake this defuse. There's a fault line, and there's the kill. Even after a good start, they just can't convert.
Such a painful play. Just, I don't even know what to say anymore. They're so fast and so coordinated. Even coming down to it, the flashes, the stuns. With 2 players inside the garage, holding quite a crossfire. They just completely took that apart, leaving Mythica alone. And then with the stun as well to finish it off, 2-7. This is the AECL that we're used to.
Yeah, this is exactly what we're used to seeing from them. And their economy is built up so huge that these last 3 rounds, they can actually just buy every single round. But right now, it's going to be an eco for OGT, but they're going to get a kill. They might make discount. Sway takes Snapsky down. I don't think he's able to recover the gun, though.
Look at C.
Oh, Casper does.
They're holding it for the time being. Can't really manage to pick up just 1 Vandal, which is pretty good. But still, the push headed towards A.
Are they going to force this? Oh, Kachao actually passes by.
She's just going in for the info play.
Right here.
I I don't think you should repeat it. At the very least,
not
you
at all.
confirmed where the hit's going, and now, Hunter's Fury just to block them off. Ayumi actually eliminates one, and Neri getting the entries as well. They've gotten the A site now. They want to pick up some of these Vandals. And here they go.
This just might work out for them.
Spike
Kachao
planted.
has the
Rolling
Rolling
Thunder
Thunder, throws the Vandal to Sway. Sway and Casper have the guns. They have armor as well on this
together.
eco. Oreo gets taken down. There's the fault line coming out. There's the Rolling Thunder as well. Does not stun Iceberg though, who sneaks out. They didn't check their corners. Gets a second as well. It's all down to Casper. 1v2 right now. She's tagged down a little bit low. She gets flash. She gets the headshot. Might be able to find Inari here, who's not healthy at all. 26 HP on Inari, but she might be able to find the angle. No! Casper switches angles real quickly, and finally OGT get another round on the board again.
Clutch.
Just a little bit of ring around the rosy, but no, this is my playground, and you're just living in it. 3-7, OGT comes back in because Casper with the 1v2 clutch. Fairly close, and it's still so scary to play against such a team, but OGT are making big strides. Even saving the Rolling Thunder as well. It's not too bad. They're getting close to that 4-point mark that we were talking about earlier, Marquis.
Yeah, they just need 4, but that fourth round is gonna be difficult still. Still a full buy from Alter Ego Celeste, and again, they can full buy the next round yet again, so it's gonna be really difficult for Orangutan. They're gonna have to play these next 2 rounds perfectly.
And perfect is what they will attempt. You've got Sway locking down C-Long, Garage being smoked off instantly. Mythica hiding behind the boxes as well. This time, very disciplined, not a single peep. And AECL senses something fishy. They go in to check it. Now Mythica is forced to make a move, but she finds the headshot and instantly teleports away! This is big value now, and they've gotten information.
And that's the power of the chamber, using a teleport. That's exactly how the teleport should have been used. There was a little bit of a blunder earlier in previous rounds, but that's exactly what we've come to expect from Mythica. Able to hold that site down, and they started figuring it out. They can get those kills, they can get those picks at the beginning, and whittle down AE Celeste's numbers. They can start winning rounds. But right now, AE Celeste look like they're going to try something different. A B site push.
That's a first. They still have the smokes to pull it off too. Unfortunately, the stun just blocking them off a
30
little bit
seconds
more.
left.
30 seconds left now, and AECL is forced to decide where exactly do you want to go. Even the lurker, Napsky, now being spotted out. This is that 4th point, but you never want to count these girls out. They're going in for that A hit. They're going in fast. They've got 10 seconds to make the spike
10
plant.
seconds left.
Yeah,
But
there's a cosmic
OGT are
divide still.
prepared.
They're ready for this, but Iceberg is gonna buy some time for Oreo to get that plant down. There's Hunter's Fury getting committed. She pays for her life for that spike plant, so there's gonna be a 2v5 right now. Ayumi takes one down. All of them are coming from main though. As she takes a second, does not get a third, as the classic is gonna be there, but Orangutan are gonna get that 4th round on the board.
The Ape Army works together. And there is that coordination that we want. The numbers will prevail. They find the opening picks thanks to Mythica, despite getting spotted by the recon drone. They
Last
still
round before
need
the switch.
one more round if they can. And it's looking pretty good now. Still though,
Yes,
my goodness.
it looks good for them, but AE Celeste have built up quite a few rounds still. Let's see where this
Exactly.
last round goes. I think 5-7 is going to be a really good spot to be in if you're Orangutan for sure.
Navsky has her tour de force as well. Oreophilia, the Cosmic Divide. They can use this for a big set play.
want to
At the
play?
same time,
Let's
Navsky can
play.
just use that to duel up against Sway. She goes in for the peek out towards middle and should be able to call this clear. Meanwhile, the rest of the squad, sensing danger in towards A, they back off completely.
You are divided.
Kachao does not have a Rolling Thunder. So this could be a tough retake.
The retake is not going to be easy. They don't have the utility for that. They already used the Hunter's Fury, the Rolling Thunder. There's just not too much for them going on to come back into the A side, and A is so hard to
Ooh.
retake, as we mentioned. But we'll have to see, because they've been playing really well the last 2 rounds. And if they can play that well again here, I think they might be able to get this round. There's the flash coming in. They're just using regular utilities, but the headshot from Inari does not get a second as Mythica takes her down. There's going to be trades left and right as well too. players
Wow.
remaining on both sides. That's going to be the recon, giving them a little bit more information. There's the aftershock going to deny the defuse as well as the
Enemy
teleport.
remaining.
They take the pips down. It's all down to Casper, who takes both of them down.
Casper unleashes the inner phantom. Along with her rifle, she spray transfers just so quick. The shrouded step, possibly a minor misdirection.
Switching
And
sides.
there it is, Key. You talked about it. 4 would have been good, but they managed to secure that 5. How will they perform now on attack? It's looking slightly better.
It looks better for them, and honestly, I've never seen this. We talked about how Alter Ego Celeste are so close to getting eliminated. It's even closer now. But right now, they still have the lead. It's just a 2-round lead. But we'll have to see if the attacking side will work well for Orangutan, as you know, we saw Alter Ego Celeste dominate the first few rounds, and then all of a sudden, Orangutan step it up. They just hold the fort down, and even after going down, was it 2-7 down? They string 3 rounds in a row to get back into striking distance.
It's good. Those 3 rounds were crucial, and it's a big boost in morale. Now, the thing is, they need to carry that forward. If they can take the pistol round, that puts them in an even better position because it's a possible 7-7. And then if you have that, that's comeback city already. ACL, on the other hand, though, you still never want to count them out. Reminder, just these teams are both so strong, but Orangutan are making big strides and improvements, and they're playing for their tournament lives.
For sure, and they're just so good though. Orangutan, I said this was going to be their litmus test, and I think that they're definitely
looks
top
great.
5 in the league right now. They look so good. I think that they're just right by Team SMG in terms of power rankings. If I were to rank them right now, Alter Ego Celeste I'd still put on top just because of their achievements. Extend Crit and Bren Victress second and tied at second, and then Orangutan, they're holding their own against Alter Ego Celeste. They're just so good, and playing, of course, from Singapore really makes a big difference. Like
Huge.
just the ping, you can see it's bringing out the best in their players, and you love to see it.
You love it, absolutely. Just playing on 5 ping, and you cannot be any more happier for these girls. Just take a look at their Twitter profiles. OG Mythica, Sway, Japips, Kachow, as well as Casper. All of them side by side in that same room, along with their coach as well. It's so much support, and it's something that's brought them this far. Can they run it all the way through, all the way home? And possibly for the first time ever, sending AECL out of the tournament? We're going to have to see how this second half plays out. I am not prepared for this.
Yeah, it's definitely unheard of. Alter Ego Celeste getting eliminated, not in Game Changers, not in VCT Game Changers APAC. But if there's any time that they've been close to that, it's now. And Orangutan have the chance to actually push them out of the tournament.
Oh my gosh, but even then, I'm just taking a look at the numbers. Orangutan, they've brought it back 5-7. If you take a look at the scoreboard, a lot of these rounds, they win it through teamwork, through coordinated plays, just leapfrogging off of each other. Meanwhile, AECL, Ayumi and Inari, just completely dominating every single other player right now. And it's just this pure aggression that I don't know if OGT are going to be prepared for. They might be playing on the defense, but you know they have the tendency to start pushing out as well. At least for the pistol round, it seems the opposite. They're playing it a lot safer. But so are OGT.
Yeah, they're
Default.
playing. They want to get a feel of each other first. And I think that's the biggest thing.
This is in those martial arts tournaments where you're circling around each other, just trying to telegraph some shots, throwing a couple of jabs, but not really committing just yet, trying to create that opening. So far, none has been spotted yet. But here it comes, the A-split push, and Napsky will be the one to receive it. Shoots out the drone, but instantly gets traded back by Japips. And now that forces a Yumi out of the site, giving control over the site to OGT.
Spike planted.
It's going to be a free site for them, and it's going to be a 4v5 retake.
Oh,
onto the
shot
east
dart!
side. Oh! Alright. This evens things out a little bit. Both chambers are down. There's going to be a Yumi with a headshot onto Kachow as well. Going to be a little bit of a whiff. and it's gonna be a 2v2 situation right now. Oreophilia takes one more down. It's all down to Japips right now. They know where she is. Faking the defuse, damages her down. 8 HP on Japips. Not much she can do right now. Oh, but there's a dink. Might be doable for her, but Oreophilia is gonna seal the deal. And this is gonna be where AECL are going to build their lead up.
They cement their footing on this defensive half, winning the pistol round. This is in a possible 5-9. OGT, despite getting the spike planted, everything was going so right. But unfortunately, just the sheer coordination from ACL, that is what they do. Attack, coordination, just going in together as a team, completely overwhelming the OGT defenses. And I'm shaking, Marquis. I really, I'm scared for the OGT girls.
Yeah, they're just a little bit overwhelmed there. Alter Ego Celeste let them in only to crush their hopes. And now it's 8-5 for Alter Ego Celeste. And they're still playing aggressive, but Mythica is going to take a head down. And Neri is going to get scalped with that Headhunter, but the Ayumi Shock Dart is going to even things out. That Spectre is going to get picked up by Kachao. But right now, Alter Ego Celeste, their defenses are a bit thin and a little bit spread out.
They know they can afford to do that. OGT doesn't have the guns. So even at this range, it's going to have to be a very calculated push. If not, they're going to lose players in the process as well, because you know Iceberg and Ayumi, they can hold that down. In fact, they've gotten information now. So
And look at the spike though. Like, the spike is all the way at the back, but they're deciding to go A instead. They're going to decide to force this issue. Good read from them though, as Iceberg has already made a rotation all the way onto Garage. It's all down to Ayumi on this A side.
30 seconds
It's
left.
complete fake, but Ayumi's going to take 2 down before falling. That's going to be a triple kill for her, but Japips is going to take her down. And that spike should be able to go
Spike
down.
Be quick.
It's going to be really fast as Alter Ego Celeste are coming in. They're already waiting. They're using the aftershock to clear a
Got
corner
flashes
first.
as well.
For sure. They have the utility. Oreophilia with a Spectre, always deadly. And they clean up shop.
They didn't, not even using the flash that much. They just send a couple of pieces of utility and just rush in together as a squad. All 3 of them covering different angles. So coordinated. And despite the strong efforts from OGT, Mythica finding that first headshot, the rest of them clearing out the site, Ayumi thinning out the numbers did so much that at the end of it, the spike plant was just not enough. It is still a 5-9, but the best thing is economical damage for ACL.
Yeah, they lost 3 members, so they have to buy up a few pistols just to keep up the firepower a little bit. It's going to be against rifles though, so this is where Orangutan can get a round win on this attacking side. But Nabsky is going to be there. Might discourage this push. Nope, she does not deal enough damage. In fact, she deals no damage. That flash, which is a little bit too much for her to handle, but they're trying to go onto the C site. Oreophilia gets taken down already, and the utility usage from Orangutan is good this round. They've taken in them slowly. It's all down to Iceberg, who jumps down. She might get spotted here by Mythica. Yeah, it's the drop, the most awkward drop in the game, I think.
A little bit awkward, but also big value from Mythica as the lurker. She's been consistently doing that since Ascent. And now on towards Haven. They've gotten a pretty good take. Let's make it near flawless now. Waiting for it, even sending out the paranoia just to buy even more time.
Enemy remaining.
And now Neri's been spotted. Yet another frag goes their way. And Ayumi still, Frenzy Sprays, actually taking down Mythica. She had that information from earlier on. And this gives her the Hunter's Spear, which she can use in another round. So despite getting overwhelmed at this point, she takes down Sway along with her. 6-9 is good. But now OGT, they have to consider the future rounds.
Yeah, losing 2 members there off of a frenzy. Ayumi just stood her ground, tried to make it a little bit more expensive as she can, as this was their bonus. So it's totally fine for them, but she's able to build up her Hunter's Spear to full at this point, and she's gonna be a force to be reckoned with, especially on this defending side. In fact, she's already taken over Inari in terms of kills. I thought Inari was tearing it up, but Ayumi, 21-9 on a Sova, no less.
Just in a matter of 3 rounds. That Hunter's Fury is going to do so much as well. I mean, you try to get the spike planted, she can just shoot that thing. 3 beams. And it buys so much time for ACL to rotate on over. Remember, right now they have rifles as well. So despite these set plays, they're going in aggressive, but Orville is still alive. Casper takes her down. And that is big. They're trying to set up a flank now, possibly to look out for Mythica, the dedicated lurker of OGT. Can they really find her, though? She's gotten support from her teammates, and there it is. Even more trades coming through. Sway taking down yet another player. And all that's left are 2 more.
2v4, difficult for them. Sway gets a headshot onto an area as well. And Casper on a tear right now. Orangutan are making this a close game.
Slowly closing the gap, just as ACL did to them previously on Ascent. They've crumpled their economy once more, and very possibly bringing this to an 8.
Yes, definitely. You can see why it's an attacker-sided map. It's really the way they're executing things, the way they're just getting their way on this attacking side, especially after their first buy round. That's exactly how Celeste looked like at the beginning.
Well, now, Sheriff still, though. We know how sharp they can be, and Ari goes in for a peek. Unfortunately, gets spotted out instead. OGT, it's almost as if they were anticipating this, playing defaults now. Back to the lab again, and they are just waiting, looking for a sign. But ACL's not budging at all.
They're not moving, they're just holding. They're going to try to make this... They're gonna want to win this. Like, I want to say they want to make this as expensive as possible, but Alter Ego Celeste, they win so many pistol rounds that I feel like they're trying to win. They're not trying to make it expensive. They're trying to win.
You know them, that's what they do. Still though, OGT trying to win as well. Going for a very tactical approach. Doesn't see anything? Alright, B is clear instead, let's go in. Smokes are up, and they've gotten the spike down. Now the question is, how are they going to hold it? A couple of players from middle, a couple of players inside of the side itself, possibly creating a crossfire, but here comes Neri, so sharp, double kill, but here comes Kachao and Sway as well.
Neri?
She's still alive though, pops the Blade Storm, she's looking for the hits. How is this possible? Kachao wants to deny it as much as possible. She's down to 5 HP. No way she lands even more.
No,
It's the quadruple now for Aneri. She's looking for less. She gets it. How is this possible? Aneri, what are you made of?
This... You know, that's a round win, but it's also a momentum break for Orangutan. They just got ecoed off of an ace from Aneri, and that is just ridiculous. Getting the headshot with the Sheriff, gets a triple using the Sheriff, immediately switches to the Blade Storm, gets his headshot, faces at Aldron like it's nothing, and gets the ace. That is such a heartbreaker for Orangutan.
Absolutely unbelievable. Never, ever have I seen another player like Canary. Canary, she floats up front, Blade Storms. And she just does so much, even with a Sheriff. The thrifty win, like Marquis said, and this is just... Dude, I am floored. OGT, they have the economy though, so they're gonna buy back into the round. But after a game-breaking play like that, can you really recover in terms of momentum now? They're trying to slow it down. As they know the stakes are high, it's so intense, they're getting blocked off. Oreophilia even coming back into Garage just to block it off. They're dancing back and forth, knowing that Garage is being contested. Can't really find any opening XP. They have no choice now, but they're rushing in. They walk right into Oreophilia, who bursts them down. 3 players left, and this is not good for OGT.
And this is the momentum break I was talking about. That ace kind of just made them feel like you could see it. They suddenly slowed down too much. And because of that, Oreophilia was able to take advantage. And that one round might have just changed the pace of this game. Orangutan looked like they were coming back, but they just got shut down by Ineri. She just thought, I'm gonna take matters into my own hands. And look, Kachao gets taken down by Hunter's Fury as well. They just can't find any members of Alter Ego Celeste, and they're getting taken down anyway. But Ineri, overly aggressive, pushed out. Japips takes 2, does not get a 3rd though, as Casper is gonna fall as well on Alter Ego Celeste. Bring it up to 11.
that, oh my god. Just when you think that gap was close, Alter Ego Celeste, they make a big jump away again. All thanks to Oreophilia holding down Garage. All thanks to Aneri just absolutely wrecking the momentum, wrecking their mental game. OGT, I don't know if they've called a timeout yet this round, but yes, now is the time to do it because they really need to regroup.
Yeah, but this regrouping might just be so difficult. Looking at their economy real quick. I mean, I'm gonna be the one to harp on the economy all the time here, but just take a look. They have a Blade Storm.
You're right.
They might have the Tour de Force as well, so they can buy for Kachao. So it's still gonna be a full buy for them. But if this round doesn't go through, they're gonna be down on match point. That's gonna be difficult because it looks like they can save 2 guns, but they have a 2-gun deficit right now because 2 of them can't buy rifles.
The Economist strikes again. Thank you, Marquis, because that's something that we desperately needed right now. I haven't even thought of that because this is something that really just shows how devastating it is for OGT to be put in such a position. If they do not get this round, if they lose it, that could be game over. Because it's going to be match point pretty soon, and Alter Ego Celeste knows it. They can sniff and smell that victory.
You want to play? Let's play.
They're definitely almost there. And Neri leading the charge, but has to dash back to safety. She has the operator up. She's still holding on A, but despite it looks like Orangutan might just want to go B instead. They're slowly making their way up on that middle, but Sway is going to be lurking with that Blade Storm.
It's a bit of a lurk,
Enemy mark.
but still getting spotted out. Now, oh, the drive-by! She gets it, Neri! You got the ace, but I'm gonna get your head. And here comes Mythica. They get the B side. This is good. 3 players left, and they could still win this round. And they desperately need it. Sway on the lurk, on the flank as well. But she's just walked past Ayumi. Going back into it, she's gonna find Napski. Listen, no! Oh, God!
She doesn't even have a gun, so she has to play with his classic right now, and Nabski's looking for her.
Oh, no. But this buys time away from the defuse, so...
I think they've already given up. They've definitely already elected to save because Ayumi already made her way to A long and she didn't move at all. Look at Oreophilia just trying to look for exit frags but gets punished for it. But they know that they can't do this retake anymore. So they're just deciding to save this operator. Their economy is not that great either on the side of A Celeste. So good discipline from them, although Oreophilia got taken down, saving 2 guns. They still have the Tour de Force on Nabski as well, so they can make this count.
Definitely wanting to hold on to it.
Need a
Big
drop.
investment. It's one that they could use for future rounds as well. Remember, they just need 1 more to push themselves into match point. Meanwhile, OGT need 4. I cannot imagine the pressure, the intensity, or what it even feels like to step into that room that OGT are playing out of. You can feel just what it's like to even be in this server.
Even just the way they play, you can see that the pressure is building up for both teams. Not just for OGT, but it's the first time Hey Celeste are near elimination, but they're definitely not gonna get eliminated so easily. They're just gonna get that wall bang and Sway gets taken down immediately. It's not looking good.
Yeah, this is dangerous. They've got Iceberg and the Rolling Thunder at the ready as well. She can send that down anytime she wants, and she's going to do it, turning into a firing range, but Casper denies it first. Now she looks around, trying to deny the spike plant, but she can't quite get an angle. And there it is, Mythica now coming to take her out. Looking for the last 2. It's going to be Ayumi, though, still sharp as ever. And in the final exchange, we bring it down to a 3v2. The rest of the OG girls backing up. And Neri comes in with the operator, and this is one that I'm scared of.
Yeah, if it's Inari and Ayumi for the retake, they brought it down to 2v2 already. The spike is not in their favor though, so this is just gonna be... Oh, it's just actually gonna go for the half here. Goes for the half defuse. Oh, she completes the teleport! Inari did not expect that!
Wow. What a way to outplay the Alter Ego Celeste players. Just teleporting all the way to the back, asserting dominance. You're gonna be distracted, so I am going to teleport right behind you. It's nothing personal, kid.
Nothing personal at all, and they just clean up shop here.
keeping the dream alive and also building up economy. But again, every time I talk about this, every time we see how Alter Ego Celeste are down to Sheriffs, down to Buckies, they are still a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, you can't just discount them. Right, and Ari with the Sheriff, if she gets a few kills, she can get going. She's a bit of a microwave as well. Like once she gets a kill, you can see that she's probably gonna string a few. But right now it's gonna be the wrong read for Alter Ego Celeste.
Oh,
They're kind of positioned towards a B, C, kind of like execute, and A is left completely open.
all right. Well, sending in the drone though, all the way from A link, it can be heard. They're sending in utility. Unfortunately, since the site has been vacated by AECL, doesn't connect onto a single player. They've gotten the
Spike
site,
planted.
yes, but also utility is kind of wasted now. Recon bolt comes in, and Neri just finds yet another. Thankfully, Sway makes it a trade. I mean, Casper, excuse me, but oh no, this is still a tough retake. They've got to hold it down, and AECL are on their heels. Walking in bit by bit, and Neri's looking for those heads. Now she's been denied, and they stand a much better chance. Casper spraying all the way. OGT, they bring it back to a 10 and 11.
You can see how they're actually trying to really secure these rounds by committing that Rolling Thunder onto the A side. Like, it was inconsequential in the end, but it doesn't matter because you could see that they want to ensure these round wins. Now for both teams, if AE Celeste lose this, they're on the back foot. Okay, just talking about economy real quick.
Wow.
Orangutan, they can buy the next round even after AE Celeste win. But it looks like AE Celeste, they're actually the ones on the back foot here because they can't lose this round.
Exactly. You're right. They lose this round, the whole thing turns around. If they win this round, OGT still get to buy up, but of course it is match point, and that in itself is still the pressure, Marquis. The pressure. I have no idea how these players stay so calm and controlled in these situations, but they're doing it. But of course, the timeout being called now. I don't know about you,
the
but
rare timeout from AE
right?
Celeste, right?
It feels like AE Celeste, they're actually sweating a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. And if they're calling a timeout, it's definitely they're feeling like they need it. Like they normally don't. Oh, it's gonna be a tech pause stacked on the timeout. So thing about a tech pause though, guys, they can't talk. Only during timeouts. They can only talk about if they're ready or like if there's a mouse issue or whatnot. But strats are only for tactical. I think someone might have disconnected.
I'm not entirely sure, but of course, I mean, this is one way for the momentum to be reset on both sides, and at the same time, just to reset that mental, right? It's that little break that you get before you step back into the ring. And I just, like, what could be going through your head if you're one of these players right now, where the stakes are so high? You might just be the team that gets to knock out AECL. And for AECL, they have to defend their lineage, their throne, their crown.
Yeah, it's really scary for them. They are 3 rounds away, unless we go overtime, 3 rounds away from getting eliminated from Game Changers APAC, and that'll be a first. Like, they already got their first series loss, and right now they seem so close to getting eliminated from the tournament. And Orangutan, in my eyes, they passed the litmus test. In my eyes, the fact that they're this close, the fact that they took AE Celeste to quad overtime and won the previous map is actually really scary.
It's like, regardless of whatever the outcome is today, I cannot be happier. Like, both teams just played out of their minds, played their hearts out today. OGT together as a team, fighting so hard to come back, fighting so hard to push us in quadruple overtime and map number 3. And on the other side, I mean, just that ace from Neri. I'm never gonna forget that.
It's hey, there's something about you and Haven and Jets, right? Like you also called the Forsaken Ace on this map as well, and it's just what is it with Haven and Jet Aces? It seems like it's just that's your second.
Forsaken is the beast, and of course, Inari just she's a goddess in all of FSL. She's the one player that pulls off such incredible plays. I mean, Ayumi too. She's on 26 right now. Both girls are just fragging out of their minds. But on the other side, whatever the score is, 18, 15, sure, Casper to Pips, but the entire team is just working as a unit, and they're all putting in that effort to try and figure out how do we make this as close as possible? How do we actually try to win this thing? And if you asked me last year, would a team called Couldn't Care Less or Asteria or Orangutan or whatever they were, because they've been shuffling around for a little bit, if you asked me, would they be able to beat Alter Ego Celeste? No. Heck no. I never would have thought that would be possible. But today, right now, the fact that even the sheer fact that this might be possible warms my heart more than you can ever imagine.
The biggest difference is the team name. Now that they're called Orangutan, they are apes together strong.
Yeah,
It's actually working out for them. This push, everyone really giving Alter Ego Celeste a run for their money. So Alter Ego Celeste, off of that timeout, already aggressive. Look at Inari here. It's
Oh my God.
decision for her. She gets one.
No!
Gets three. Oh my God! Pops the Blade Storm as well. Nabsky's gonna be there to get the fourth kill, and Alter Ego Celeste have turned this on its head right now.
Just in a matter of seconds, how do you do such a thing? How does it go unchecked and you just sneak your way down to the bottom of middle window? And she clears it off, completes it with a quadruple! Flawless win now! And their economy is slightly better. They go into match point!
I was hoping for an ace there, but that was just as nasty. And Neri really keeping them in this tournament, really wanting to make sure that there was no risk of them losing. But right now, it's still going to be a full buy for Orangutan, so they just need one last round.
One last round for Alter Ego Celeste. But two more for Orangutan to push us into yet another overtime. Can they do it to keep their Cinderella dream alive? They're feeling it. And they're playing super careful, Marquis. Middle
Look at
wasn't
the read
checked
from
earlier on,
Alter Ego
but now they're
Celeste,
back.
though.
Exactly. 3 stack on C as well. Oh.
It's going to be a great read from them. It's going to be a B execute. So they're going to be pretty quick on the
Spike
rotate
planted.
here. If they can get control over middle here, I think that's going to be the key to this retake. There's going to be a flank from Nabsky. Kachao, though, is going to get 2 down. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. There's the paranoia just in time for the trade for Kachao and Iceberg and Ayumi. Last 2 members remaining. Can they do this? They take 1 down. 2v3 still, but Iceberg is not healthy at all.
Ooh.
There's a flash onto the C side. Iceberg knows something
enemy
is up.
remaining.
Iceberg knows that Nabsky is there, but Casper is going to take her down. It's all down to Ayumi. She's stuck between a rock and a hard place, stuck between 3 players right now. Swings
Wow.
out, does not get it, and oh my God, we might just go to overtime yet again.
Possibly. I love that. Mythica, her aim routine's been paying off, and just watching how she holds down these angles, it is pristine. We're back into it. It's 11-12. 1 round to go into overtime. Orangutan on the attack.
Remaining.
This time around, they made the B push, the one that is not quite expected from Alter Ego Celeste. But now the game is changing once more. Defensive positions all shuffled up. You have to guess, and you have to guess correctly. This could be it.
Off your feet!
This might be it. There's the Rolling Thunder being committed, but they get out of dodge. Great play from Alter Ego Celeste to really just play that out. It's gonna be a 5v5 retake, but Inari starts things off with a kill. 5v4 right now. Sway gets taken down. The spike is down though, but Celeste are already here. They're ready to execute on this retake. There's a dash primed for Inari. She's gonna go into that side. Casper with a flank though, but Nabsky flanks the flanker. Now down to 5v3. Kachao is gonna take 1 down. makes the numbers a little bit more palatable, but that DP is gonna get stuck. Navsky gets one down, and I think
Defy, no!
DP is gonna go
Defenders
through!
win. One enemy remaining.
The defuse! Just because of the Cosmic Defy, just because of the kills, so much distraction, and they did not hear it being stuck. That's... Oh my god, it's heartbreaking, Marquis.
My heart is just broken. They're so close to sending it to overtime, but the Cosmic Divide, that's the difference that the Astra can bring over to Omen and Alter Ego Celeste. They were so close. They were 2 rounds away from possibly getting eliminated in this game, in this series, in VCT Game Changers APAC, but they still are alive. They're going to face Team SMG later today in the lower bracket.
That is going to be a fairly interesting game to watch on its own. It's one heck of a marathon, but focusing on this one right here, right now. 11-13. Who would have thought Orangutan just playing their hearts out? They've gone all this way. They've played and faced the queens of VCT Game Changers APAC themselves, and they pushed them all the way to their final limit. I don't know what everyone else thinks, but this is it's still awesome to me.
It's just so good, and props to Orangutan. I foresee them doing really well for Open 4. Even if they don't get through Elite through points, I think they're pretty sure locked to win things in overtime. And Orangutan, they're just so good. Jipips, Kachao, Casper, Sway,
Mythica.
they're just absolutely amazing. And Mythica too. You know what? Like, just looking at the score just now, A Celeste were running away with Ineri and Ayumi getting all the frags. But on the side of OGT, even in this 13-11 loss, all 5 members were performing. There was no standout single member. And I think that that's a good blueprint to expect more from them in the future, because any one of the 5 players, similar to Alter Ego Celeste, can just pop off. And Orangutan are so good, and I want to see more of them in the next tournament. Unfortunately, they've already been eliminated, but we still have the exact same top 4 that we've had over and over again. It's Alter Ego Celeste, Team SMG in the lower bracket. In the upper bracket is X10 Crit Female, and Bren Esports Victors. But let's take a look at the highlights right now. Ineri was on a tear this game.
You are top 4 for a reason. You are Alter Ego Celeste, the queens, for a reason. And they have absolutely proven why they are in here to play, in here to defend their crown. Every single time they get pushed to the limit, you just find another side to them. You just find these magical moments where you think it's an eco round. Surely they lose, but it's just miraculous to watch Ineri pull off such incredible feats such as this one. And it's just nothing short of amazing. But of course, again, Orangutan Esports, my heart goes out to them. It's like watching Zeta Division. I cannot imagine what they're feeling right now, but I cannot help but clap for them. Like, they did so well despite losing right now, despite being knocked out of the tournament. They did so much.
They played really well, and like you mentioned, really being able to show up against Alter Ego Celeste, that's a stamp of a good team. That's the mark that they will be able to improve still. And this is just the first. They just got together. This team just got formed. They're already earning points. They're already showing how fast they can improve. And you can see the improvement in the players, especially Sway, Mythica, and Casper playing in a Singapore server. So good on good ping.
It's just the best. Honestly, they deserve it. They need to be playing here a lot more, quite frankly. But also, even with all these improvements, I think this just proves one thing, right? A lot of hard work can come in. You might be Rock Lee, dropping your weights with the ping now, and just being able to work incredibly hard that you unlock that whatever 7th gate or something, up against talent, up against someone like Ineri. It's still not enough. You still need to find so much more within yourself, and until you practice to get to that point, I just can't wait to see what more Orangutan has in store for us, because you can bet they are going to be training even after this. But of course, that's what we have for this one series. We're moving on into the next. the upper bracket finals, Marquis.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. But before we go to the upper bracket finals, of course, that was a long series, so we're gonna go for a quick break. Don't touch our browser. We'll be right back.